That's right. There we go. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Welcome back to another fantastic episode of I'm gonna talk and you're gonna talk. We're gonna talk. We need to have a little talk. Oh yeah. Hold on. How the fuck do I? Gosh. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Oh shit! It's Jim. Hello, Jim. Did you, Jim? Did you get your audio, your vocals, your shit sorted? Did you get your shit sorted, Professor Jim? What do I call you, Doctor Jim? Do you have your doctorates now, Doctor Jim? Um. I don't have an intro song. Intro song. This is the intro. Intro song. Google doo. Intro song. Doo. Intro song. Doo. The news is terrible. Doo. The kebabbies are doo. Hello, banging my head. Yeah, well, yeah, did I not? Did that? I guess I didn't help very much. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. That's why I, shit. Yeah. Hello, me. Meet the real me. A good enough mix now? Nice. I hope I kind of like partially helped somehow. Device not connected. They will need to connect their mic cam before you can add them to the stream. Ah, this is bullshit. It's the same bullshit that it used to do to me. Mr. Griffin is in the waiting room getting his shit sorted. He might just need to unmute. I don't know. Winging it. It was too low in the mix. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was that or if it was like the music was just like literally overwriting the audio. Like, not that it was too loud. It was like meow. Kitty. Griffin, get your shit sorted. Banned from studio. Griffin, your shit's not sorted. I can't add you. It sounds good in my door, but in export, the folks got buried. It's been right confusing, it has. It's been right confusing, it has, Governor. That's my kitty cat, Governor. I can't do British voices with Australians around. My brain gets wankered. Hey, KP. And I know I need to get a little headset for the kitty cat. Griffin, you gotta sort your shit, my dude. Griffin, sort your mic. I can't add you. Wanker brain. I think wanker brain means something else, but that's okay. You might have to. Oh. Holy shit crackers. Can you... There you go. I heard you. What? You got to say like a whole sentence, Griffin, so I can.
Hello there.
Hello.
Okay.
Yes. What?
Why am I hearing all the voices twice?
Because you're probably watching my stream somewhere else. Jim, how do you know that I'm not just repeating what you're saying? How do you know that you're repeating what I'm saying? What does time really mean?
Okay, I'm going to try something.
Okay, bunch of boomers. Holy shit, man. I haven't uploaded the video yet, but I went on another big boomer rant. Somebody said the funniest thing. Um, they said that uh, Gen Z are actually just like reincarnated boomers, basically, with how much fucking whining and complaining they do. Oh, that shit was so funny. I was laughing. I would have been laughing if I wasn't already thought it was so hilarious. But it's like,
This is freaking me out.
it's freaking me out. I believe that you'll get it sorted, Griffin. I believe in you. Although it says you're muted, I don't even know how the fuck you're
Yeah.
talking. Oh, there you are. Do you have like multiple tabs open?
Yeah, no, I've only got one tab open. Oh, hang on a sec. We'll
Hang on.
close that.
You what?
Is
Button
that
mash.
better?
I don't know. You tell me. Ask me if it's better. I don't know what the fuck.
Yes, it is. Okay.
Hooray.
We're good now.
Hooray.
Yes, we are good.
Welcome back to the Chance and Griffin show. I'm your host, Chance, and this is Griffin, who is definitely not a potato.
No, I'm definitely not a potato. This whole thing is just confusing me sometimes.
Well, you are a boomer, and so this is I have a question. Since
Yes.
you are the certified boomer, do you think that Zoomer, like Gen Z, are actually just reincarnated boomers?
Well, I always thought I was Gen Z because I was born in 1971. So, and that's kind of Gen Z anyway, isn't it?
No, that's a boomer. You're old as fuck. That's like boomer territory. You're about to retire.
Yeah, but you're 84, so you're older than me.
I know. I'm the great generation, or whatever they're called. Aren't they called the Great Generation?
You're about to organise funeral arrangements or something, aren't you?
I know. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hoard all the caskets, and so everybody has to come to me.
I don't know. I always thought I was just Gen Z, so I can't even.
But you don't think you act like a boomer, though? Like, do you think like all the little shits running around? Do you think they're actually just like really, really young, like boomer mentality? Like they think everything's owed to them. I wish I could find the exact quote. I need to find the exact quote. It was so perfect. He said he or she. Oh fuck! Of course, Murph goes live exactly when.
I know, right? I just saw that.
Well, if you guys want to go watch him, I don't care.
No, I'm happy to sit here. I can watch it later.
Yes, this guy, he basically said, Gen Z are boomers, but without all the opportunities provided to them. That's loosely what he or she said, or whatever. And I thought it was so funny.
I think it's an age thing, isn't it? I mean, you get to the certain point where it's like,
hi, Jacob.
You know, it's, how do I put this without upsetting everyone?
You're not gonna you're gonna sub Jim? I don't think so.
Yeah. I'm sort of starting to feel like I'm Clint Eastwood sitting on that bloody rocking chair saying, "Get off my lawn."
Yeah, but here's the interesting thing, though. Like when you retire, I know you and I talk about this a lot. I'm not trying to take the piss, as the cool kids say. When you retire, do you actually think that there's any like leftover work that you have that would actually like it certainly wouldn't employ another person. It would just kind of dissolve, more or less, right?
If I look at the job that I'm doing at the moment, there is no business to sell once I stop.
Right. It just does, like the work.
Because I am the business. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's not like you can get an apprentice and actually like hand this off, because it's just going to be dissolved.
Yeah. Once I stop, it'll stop.
Yeah.
And there's certainly enough people out there these days that are doing similar work to me and have probably been doing it for 15 years. And so they'll just take up the slack, and I'll just, within a generation, I'll be forgotten. I mean, I know that.
Well, yeah,
So,
yeah. But like even them though, when every single one of them retire too, like none of them are going to get backfilled either, right? They've all been
no,
doing it for as long as you, and none of them are going to get backfilled either.
no,
And so
no,
that's
I mean, it's,
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, to be able to employ someone these days, and I did actually go through the process a number
yeah,
of years
Kendall.
ago, um, where where I did actually look at putting an employee on. And with the regulations that are around these days, if I pay someone, say, $60,000 a year, it actually costs me 120,000 to
Yeah,
actually employ them. Once you put on work cover and holiday pay and superannuation and insurances and everything else like that.
yeah, we call
So
that like
even,
L&I here. Like so if they get hurt,
yeah,
like not or if they hurt someone else or if they fall through someone's like yeah, the amount of insurance that you have to have is must it's probably just as bad there, I'm assuming.
it, it's insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so for them to actually start making money, they need to be earning basically more than three times their wage. So they need to be bringing in $180,000 a year to even make it worthwhile. Me
Worth of
paying them 60,000.
yeah,
Um,
which and they'd have to be getting their own leads
yeah,
basically too, like
yeah,
and expanding, right?
and then basically once they sort of hit that certain point, they're sitting there probably at night time after they've gone home, wondering why aren't I just doing this on my own? And so once you've trained them up, you've bought them, they've bought all this work in, they leave and they take it all with them. So what's the point?
Yeah, they and then they have the leads, and then you're again left with nothing,
Yeah. So I
which
may
is
as well
that's common in
may
a
as well
lot of
just remain
industries.
self may as well just remain self-employed.
Yep. So how yeah, so you're following me here. So like how I see like all these old people and they're like, "Look, how many times have you heard this? Like, oh, it's a good thing I'm about to retire soon." So this isn't to shit on them. This is if you flip this around for a second and go, how many millennials and zoomers are waiting for the boomers to finally fucking retire, but they have not realized that there's actually no job
Yeah.
there.
Well, I mean,
They yeah.
the silly thing is that most of my clients are about the same age as I am anyway. So by the time I retire, they're going to be retired as well. So
Yeah.
whatever work they were giving me is not going to be there anymore. So, you know,
And people used to count on all these old fucking people to need like house cleaners and shit, which has all gone to illegals, but it's just going to be robots soon. So the whole entire ecosystem around old people is just not going to exist unless, and this is what me and my other friend always come back to, unless you're in the hospital industry and can milk off their Medicare, Medicaid, or whatever you guys call it. You know, the 5,000 check the box tests with
mhm.
800 billion pills they're on. The government has cornered the market, and casinos have cornered the market on sucking them dry. There isn't an ecosystem for anybody else. Hey, Birio, a beer robot. I mean, you'd if you made beer robots instead of the oxygen machines, it's like a beer machine.
Well, I mean, beer for me, monster drinks for you, I guess. But yeah, either way it works, doesn't it?
Or it's Bender where like the robot learns how to get drunk and then you're just fucked. The beer robot drank all the beer. But like there's no ecosystem. There's no employment ecosystem around old people anymore.
No.
It's you're I mean, it used to be, if you're like a phlebotomist, you could go to all the old people's houses and go kind of take their blood for them. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of a robot system that does that. Grandma latches it on her arm and it just shoop-a-doops her blood. There's going to be robots delivering their food every day. You
Have
know
you
what?
seen the robots out of Japan?
Just
The ones that are lifelike?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my God. They look real. I mean, seriously, they walk, they move,
Yeah.
they talk. Their emotions, everything is basically so lifelike that if you passed them on the street, you probably wouldn't notice.
Yeah, until she looks at you and goes, "You want to go to the bush, mate?" And you're like, "You fucking what?" Yes, robot. Let's go.
I'm not going to
You
say
can
no.
drive. You can drive, and I want you to hit every roo on the way. You got it, governor. What? Did you just switch to British? The waifu 800. Yeah, so far we've got a beer robot and a waifu robot, a waifu Terminator.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of lonely people out there. I
Yeah,
mean,
there are.
you start, and this has been a big argument lately as well because most people aren't having kids anymore because they're
Yeah.
too damn expensive and they can't afford them. So, it's, you start looking at relationships, I suppose, and how many singles there are. And there's a
Mhm.
huge thing even amongst the millennials where they just go around and having a lot of fun, but none of them actually want a relationship.
But here's the
And
thing. And I was talking about this to myself earlier. It just hasn't uploaded yet. If you had to go back in time, not go back in time, if you suddenly de-aged, besides running around being a horny bastard for a while, would you actually like if gals don't have fucking jobs, right? Either they don't have jobs either,
well, most
right?
of them are basically on these websites these days. So
Yeah, they're on the websites, or they're just sitting there going, "Well, I'm not going to date any guys because they don't have any fucking jobs." So like you're still, even if you were younger, you're still screwed. Like the chances of you finding a partner that, and I mean that in the literal term, not like the gay way that everyone's been using
yeah,
it these days. What value would they be able to provide? Like like it would be like a job interview. Like what skills do you have? Like because we have to be a team and fight this entire planet somehow. So
I don't think they're intelligent enough to even be starting to ask those sort of questions.
right. And so if
um,
you did, you'd be like going to the college and be like, all right, which one of you is going to be a doctor? Because which one
most
of
of
you
them
is
want
a
to be
surgeon?
most of them want to be insta bloody famous. So, they're not
Right.
interested in singing anymore. They're not really interested in movies anymore. They make so much bloody money off Instagram and what's the other one? Um,
Well,
there's another website that most females of that
well,
age tend to be ending up on.
I mean,
Um,
they're all on TikTok. I've heard people dating the younger generation, and they'll be sitting there eating dinner, and their date will be on fucking TikTok the whole time, and it's just like, okay,
yeah, I mean, I just, I can see where the whole personal robot is coming from because
yeah.
at some point
Oh,
during their life, even though all of them will say, no, that's never going to happen, at some point they're going to get old. And what do
ugh.
they do then?
I don't know, and that's exactly why the robot thing. Like, if you had, only robot walking around with you, and you're like, oh man, I really need help, especially if she can lift like 800 pounds or some shit. You load like the fix the truck chip on her and be like, all right, you pay the $200 for the subscription service for her to be able to fix the truck for a month. And she just like lifts the truck up, and you're like, okay, cool. You fix the truck. She sets the truck back down. And you're like, well, fuck, that was cheaper than going out to dinner.
Well, then
uh,
you've got to seriously question, all these insta millennials, I suppose you want to call them.
yeah,
What are they going to do when the power goes out? What are they going to do
I
when there's no mobile phone connection.
Well, okay.
What are they going to do when
It's worse
all
than
this?
that. It's worse than that. What somebody said is what happens when Gen Alpha has to like sit at a traffic light for more than 15 seconds? Are they just gonna like drive out into the intersection because they just can't take it anymore?
Well, I don't think that's going to matter much for much longer anyway,
Oh,
because
because the
half the cars you buy these days will just about be able to
oh
drive themselves anyway.
yeah.
So they're not really going to care as long as they've got a phone in front of them.
Yeah. Birio says nobody asked for robots or data centers. Birio, I think robots outdate both of us by a lot. The guy I can't remember. I'm not talking about Isaac Asimov. The guy that made the Lost in Space robot, and he made the Lost Planet or whatever robot, and he made the third one. I can't remember the name of the third robot. And the idea of having robots in houses has like existed probably the day after they abolished slavery. They're like, fuck, slavery didn't work. I guess we better build some kind of robot. Better get started on that now. And then H1Bs came and fucked everything up. Yeah, Robbie's one. There was three. I found out. Asking Grok a while ago how many of them there were. The guy made three. I think the idea of having robots around houses, like the Jetsons, I think that's what everyone imagined the future being like. But what nobody factored in is you ask what people are going to do without the internet. What are going to people do when robots are literally doing everything? Is it going to be like Wall-E, where they're just tubbies? But then someone was like, does the Wall-E future really happen if Ozempic actually works?
It's funny because mainstream here in Australia are pushing Ozempic one minute and then they're destroying it the next. Like,
Yeah.
it's come on, guys. You guys are reporting on a national news channel and you can't figure out whether it's actually a good thing or a bad thing.
It'll be poisonous one minute, and then the next
Yeah.
minute there'll be a marketing advertisement for the new
Oh,
variant of it.
apparently it's good for heart attacks, it's good for weight loss, it's good for all this stuff. And then the next night you turn the news on and it's like, oh yeah, but you could
It's
end up
venom.
passing away. Be
Yeah.
careful. It's like get your act together and actually report something, but don't change your mind every 15 minutes because that's
Yeah.
when things become dangerous.
Yeah. I think they're probably sponsored and not sponsored. they,
Possibly.
they did they didn't pay their marketing their psyop bill that day.
Well, it does make you wonder why, and they sit there wondering why people aren't watching mainstream anymore because they just, I mean, if it's not a bloody ad, every second story, it's sport. And if it's not sport, it's like, well, they can't make up their mind what they want to say. And then they wonder why they're not getting the views that they once get. And you only have to watch the advertising these days because all the advertising they're doing seems to be pay per, ring this 1800 number and get this fantastic new kitchen appliance, and hey, we'll throw in steak knives. I mean,
Ooh.
once your advertising gets to that point, their viewership is rubbish because
Yeah.
even the other advertisers can't be bothered doing it anymore because
Uh-oh.
no one's bloody watching.
If I suddenly disappear, it's because Sissy Face jumped on the power plug. No. Her paw was right on the power plug. She was thinking
Oh.
about it. So that's exactly what happened to YouTube. That's how you know that YouTube is in the shitter. And that's also how they used to deplatform everybody on Fox News. Fox News. They eventually, talked all of the advertisers into getting off Fox News, and they were able to deplatform people that way. And so then YouTube lost all of its advertisers, and now everything's AI porn. And I don't know if you've ever seen those, but goodness forbid if you ever have your ad blockers turned off, there's actual like AI porn that plays now.
Yeah,
Or it'll
well,
be those fake AI video games that aren't real.
I think it's the only subscription I actually pay for so that I don't see
Oh,
the
that's
ads.
right. You're the one.
So,
You're actually like the one. You they used to call it YouTube Red. Yeah. So how soon? But at least you know what I'm talking about, right?
yeah.
So how
Yeah,
soon do you
because
think
Facebook
that?
went that way.
Oh, that's right. So how soon do you actually think it's going to be? There's going to be two, and it's the same thing with YouTube. It's either AI porn, AI video games, or political ads. So that's all. That how soon till you think TV? That's all it is.
Um, yeah, I don't know how Australian TV will work because we get it free, so we don't actually pay for it. Um,
Yeah, but there's still ads, right?
there's still ads, yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about. Like, how soon until you think the ads are just AI
at
ads on
at the
TV?
rate things are going, I don't know, probably less than 6 months.
Man, that I think is going to be more dystopian than people realize. Because at least on the radio, um, local people know that they're going to be on the radio for a certain area. And if you're on RF with TVs, there's still going to be local stuff. But besides that, like, there isn't going to be any international or even national level advertising anymore. Kendall says a
But it,
lot already.
but see, it's like the video that I watched today, one of your old ones.
Oh,
Um, in terms of, and even what we were talking about a bit sort of last night. I think it was your video last night where there's a lot of these fake videos where they're basically using people's faces, people's voices because they've got enough data.
yeah.
Um,
Oh,
so
yeah.
who says they're not creating ads now out of AI? And you look at how quickly you can make a song. All you got to do is throw a few prompts in there, give it an idea of what sort of what type of music you want to play, and within 5 minutes it creates a song. So who's to say they're not actually doing that for video?
Well, they do that
Because
on YouTube already a lot because they flew right past deepfake, and there's AI pipelines now that wait until the news uses it. Oh man, if they make
why
like
why
the a
actually pay? Yeah, but why pay? Why even pay a news broadcaster? Like whether it's a female and a male, which it tends to be. Why even pay these people anymore?
that would be
Because you can
so
create it.
easy to do.
Yeah. And then you're not paying a couple of $1 million to have these people even on there. You might pay them a lump sum, but they don't actually need to turn up to work anymore
I
because
wonder if it's
you
because
just get
there's
AI to do it.
I think, and some of you are in the chat are going to understand this joke, but it's going to be like you're going to be watching it, and the anchor is going to be like, "All right, and tonight, brought to you by Cock and Balls NFT, we're going to be watching what happened on the sports today," and like you're going to have the AI like hallucinating, or like it just rips its shirt off and runs around. Like I think I think people are too scared. I think the executives are too scared. Oh shit! Oh no, that brought out everybody. CDK, how's it going, buddy? Cock and balls NFT. Anybody? Tonight at 10. Um, Glidewater. But like the problem is, if you're a news executive, you're sitting there and you're probably silently polling everybody, especially with the TVs that can see people's eyes and stuff. Like, I bet you they'll play a little AI ad and the TVs are watching everybody, right? And I bet you as more and more people warm up to it, there'll be like the first AI anchor as they also test the Tesla, because the first AI movie,
Well,
the
you
first
can just imagine that HR is going to be. I mean, if HR aren't the people who are running HR basically aren't sort of sitting there wondering what the hell's this going to be like in 10 years' time, they're not going to have a job because there's going to be no one to actually. There's going to be no humans there.
That's why if I was in charge, the first thing I would do is fire HR and replace them with AI. Then I wouldn't have to worry about it anymore.
Well, see,
Um,
what was it? A newspaper in the US, I think about 12 months ago, was pinged after they finally actually, and no one picked it up. They actually came out and said it themselves that every article that they'd written for like 3 months didn't actually have a human writing it. And
yeah,
everyone was like, oh my God, oh my God. But see, I reckon it's even worse. Radio, you could actually get away with it pretty much right now. You could do AI right now without anyone actually having a single clue.
you. I think the thing is, and I was watching a pretty far along AI. I don't know what you call him, developer or whatever. He had a full AI conversation, no, a full conversation with an AI gal, and it actually was his daughter the whole time. But yeah, he was able to kind of sort of like mocap, like how they did Golem.
Yeah.
Um, it was kind of like that, and I think so. I think maybe what would happen is you pay in like an H1B or some shit to just sit there and I don't until they can fully AI it. I think they still need somebody to be mocapping it for like a little bit. But even I remember like Anonymous way back when used to do anonymous shit, and they could have a couple gestures looped, and then yeah, in a little while, everyone would just become accustomed to it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like what do anchors really do? Every once in a while, they stop and look at each other. Then the other one gestures their hands. They don't fucking do
All they're
anything.
doing is reading a TV screen basically right in front of them,
Yeah,
like a prompt thing. And that's basically all they're doing. People just, I don't know, you could have a robot sitting there basically telling the news and people would still tune in. So,
yeah. I mean, people
no,
still watch Saturday Night Live, so I,
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
It's, I think news and, I mean, a lot of it will basically disappear because it's costing them. I mean, I'd hate to think of what the news anchors earn these days, um,
I bet
but
it's minimum wage.
it's it would be a crap load. It'd be a lot of
Well,
money.
for the two people that talk, I think that the people in the studio make a shit
Oh
ton of
no,
money.
the camera money, the cameramen and the people who
Yeah,
actually write the reports and
the people that
the
go out, I think they make
yeah
fucking nothing
yeah
because they're like I've noticed this like locally. Dude, they're like barely college age girls that they're like sending out in the shittiest, worst fucking places. They can't be paying those girls very much. They don't
and
have
they're all
their own show.
stunners. Like
Yeah.
they're all great looking. They're great looking guys. They're great looking girls. Um, they could pretty much walk on any runway, half of them. But once all the AI stuff starts coming in, basically you could get rid of three-quarters of the staff out of a news studio, and they'd still be making just as much money.
Well, and this has already happened, and Jim is right. Freelance gets dog shit. That's the other problem, is they could tell you you've got to cover five fucking things on five different parts of the town, and you might get a 15-second clip, and it might be like at 2 a.m. And Wishgen says the same thing, minimum wage. Here's the problem though, like imagine if I need my best man on this. Where's Spider-Man? I can't find Spider-Man. I'm sending Griffin. Okay, fuck that guy. But and then so I send you out and you're like, all right, go cover the water leak where the fire hydrant or whatever you guys call them there exploded. and you go there, and the fire hydrant's not exploded anymore, and you're like, "Oh fuck it, I'm not leaving the house. I'm in my underwear. I'm blue screening this shit." You, like, I need more AI pictures of Spider-Man. Fuck yeah, but like they've done that before, where like it looks like a bunch of rushing water behind him, and someone is like not even ankle deep. I don't know if you've seen those.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, yeah. I think
And they'll
that's
act
happened
like
in
it's really
hurricanes, and
windy,
they're
and they'll
standing
be
out there
standing
basically,
sideways,
and
and there's no wind. Someone just walks by, their umbrella's fine.
and then suddenly some guy walks past with his bloody lead and the dog on the end of it, just cruising along in the sun, because they've artificially changed the lighting behind. It's actually a perfectly sunny day, but
Yeah, they used to do that on the Daily Show, like all the time. Like the news anchor, they'd be like in Aleppo or something, but the person's like right next to him on a blue screen. Um, but I think that's the problem, is not even getting into the fact that they could literally make shit up and nobody would know. They could just have like Mr. Sleepy Joe. I think they had him at some point like in a different part of the White House, but I think they just had it blue screened up in the background
yeah,
that made it look like
there
he was
was
in
a
the
thing.
Oval Office.
Yeah, there was a thing about that. Yeah, when Biden was still in, and
The
everyone
Weather
thought he was
Channel.
actually in the Oval Office, and
Yes.
everyone discovered later that all the press are actually going to a completely different building. It's like
Yeah, that was crazy.
it was just hilarious. It's I don't know. You see the Oval Office so many times in the movie, so how do you know where the damn thing is anymore? Seriously. It's like, why are they spending so much money on a ballroom, on a building, and everyone's going, well, you know, just in case, the Russians decide to send a nuclear bomb there. It's like, they've known where the
Little
White House has been for decades. I mean, come on, get over it. I mean, why would they
well,
even be there anymore?
well,
It's
okay.
it's
I
a
I think
museum these
I think
days.
the ballroom is a great idea. Um because of security. You want to know what's hilarious though is they made the ballroom, which I think is fine, but then they promptly did the UFC thing in the back that was completely
Yeah,
open and prone to drone attacks. I'm like,
yeah.
what the fuck did you guys? Why
Oh,
did you guys
apparently there
build a
were
fucking ballroom for that? You idiot!
funny you should say drone attacks, because apparently the FBI shut down some bloke before the actual UFC thing, because
They did.
he was gonna fly drones at it.
It was like 30. There was like it was like a 30-person cell or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
CDK.
So
Um.
it's
Well,
so
yeah.
hot
So the
here.
ballroom was an amazing idea, but then they promptly had the UFC thing outside.
Yeah, I don't know. I I
But
just don't.
to your
I don't really understand him anymore. Like, I mean, technically, the White House. It's for all intents and purposes these days, with security and everything else that people can throw at it, it should be written off as a museum piece.
Oh, yes. I completely agree. To be clear, I agree with that also. I think it's okay to agree with both things. I think I was telling you the other night, if he was smart, he would move back to Mar-a-Lago and just turn that into a fortress, or just take out kind of like Camp David, where it's like just
Yeah,
take
because he
like
hasn't been to
500
Camp
acres.
David for like his entire term. Like, no one
Yeah,
goes there anymore.
right. Yeah. And so if I was him, and Musk is the same thing. Like I think Musk basically has like his own town, like or his own small town or his own small city now. Like if I was that rich and that powerful, that's exactly what I would do. Like I think the White House and all those cool buildings, I think they're cool buildings and I like the style of those buildings, but like
Oh yeah,
that's why they had to build the ballroom and the bunker underneath the ballroom, because it just conventional anything would, it's just like, well, everyone's seen the movie Independence Day.
yeah.
Like,
Like, the White House gets targeted in just about every disaster movie known to man. So,
oh, and I don't know if
I
you've
mean,
ever
if
seen
that's
like,
not a hint enough,
well, yeah, which is funny because well, I think we're the only country in the world. that has just metric shit tons of movies of our Capitol building getting attacked and destroyed. I don't know if you ever
Mm.
saw like Olympus Has Fallen.
Yep, seen that.
Very, very, very good movie. White House Down was like, is okay, but like that building, it does get there's tons more. I can't think of them all. It gets attacked in like every movie, and it's not that big of a building.
No, no.
So
I mean, everyone knows it's got the Situation Room underneath it. I mean,
yeah,
everyone knows that. So that's clearly underground.
yeah,
I'm sure there's a pile of other stuff that is underground that we never get told of, and that's fine. Um, so now they're going to build this. Well, they are building this great big ballroom. Everyone knows there's going to be a bunker underneath it. They've even said it themselves.
yeah.
So, what's secret about it?
I don't think anything's secret about it, except for how deep it actually goes. Like I think it could end up being as big as like an underground city. I mean, the fact that no dirt has come up
Makes you
means
wonder where all the
it.
dirt's going.
Yeah, it's got to be. I don't know if you ever saw like the first Resident Evil movie, and I know everyone hates it, but like when they pan out into the wireframe and you see the building is basically like upside down and it just keeps going and going. Like I imagine that's what the White House. It's probably like an underground small town, small city
Well,
underneath.
I said the same thing when China started going after Taiwan. I said, considering how close Taiwan is to the China mainland, who says the Chinese haven't actually built a tunnel between the two of them and they're just going to pop up out of manholes?
Well, the same. Isn't that literally what they did with Hong Kong?
I'd imagine so, yeah.
Yeah, like I think if I'm not mistaken, back before the Rona, there is a literal. No, I haven't heard of that one, Griffin. I mean,
I
Laura.
haven't seen Paradise, no.
Um,
Hello,
we-
Laura.
if you
Hello,
go,
everyone, by the way.
yeah, I'm not gonna be one of those douchey YouTubers that ignores the chat. Wah, wah, wah. Tunnel between China and Hong Kong. God, I can't type tonight. Yeah, the no, that's the above. Oh well, they did make the bridge, but I thought
Yeah,
there was
I
also
think what
a
they're
tunnel.
saying is even if they build a tunnel between China and Taiwan, it'd be the longest tunnel ever ever constructed underground. But that's only what they say publicly, because
Well, yeah.
it's further away than what France is to the UK, so where the channel is.
Wow.
But given what China's capable of doing in terms of actually building infrastructure, I don't think it'd be that far out of their realm. I think they could
Mm.
do it if they really wanted to do it.
Oh, it's probably
And,
already halfway done. Yeah.
well, considering I mean, a lot of people, I mean, okay, forgetting about the politics side of things, and just look at how easy it would be to actually do Taiwan. The fact of the matter is that they've got shocking weather there, and so they really only get about a 2 month shot at it per year.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and
And the
then you've got
forest is impenetrable.
the cliffs and all that sort of business that's going on that side of the
Yeah, they can't
Taiwanese
attack it
coast
on
as
like
well.
three sides,
Yeah, it's
which
like,
means you're going into a kill zone.
yeah. So if you were looking at it from a military perspective, you either take the country over without actually firing a shot. So in
Mhm.
other words, you just blockade it, but that takes too long. Um, it's not like the castles of yesteryear, where they only had a limited amount of food and water. These are cities. um, so the other option would be to simply go underneath the ground, and that's what they do between North and South Korea as well. They've got tunnels going everywhere. So,
Yeah.
and these days with the tunnel boring machines, I mean, we've got one in Adelaide at the moment that's basically building the South Road extension. So, Musk has got them in the US doing God knows what. And who's to say China doesn't have a few of them as well? Because, I
Oh
mean,
well,
let's face it,
I'm
they
sure Belts
pitched,
and Roads is a part of Belts and Roads has got to absolutely be tunnels.
oh, they build bridges far faster than what the Western countries ever do. because
Yeah,
they've built specific machinery to do it. So to
yeah,
build a tunnel that goes 30 or 40 miles, I don't think it'd be outside their realm at all. I think they could do it in about 5 minutes flat.
yeah. Well, you should what you should do if you're bored is take a note to go look at the. It is partially a bridge, but like it's partially a tunnel between China and Hong Kong. Because I think one of the reasons Hong Kong finally gave up is they could drive. I think they could like drive their battle tanks, at
Yeah.
least their medium battle tanks, like literally drive them to Hong Kong if they wanted to.
Well, that was. I mean, you've read. Now, what was it?
One of the
I
largest
can't
trolls.
remember. I can't remember whether it was a Tom Clancy book or someone else. Um, it might have been someone else. There was actually a book that I read many years ago, and I think I've probably still got it in my library somewhere, where the whole premise of it was that South Korea was doing all right, and North Korea, for some reason, wanted to invade South Korea. So they drove all their tanks, all their towed artillery, everything else was basically driven through tunnels
Yeah,
and up into a warehouse, various warehouses dotted around the city of Seoul or wherever it was, and simply came out the roller doors of the factories. And it's
the
like,
funny
oh
thing
my God,
is,
there's a whole army coming out there.
especially North Korea, like North Korea doesn't need any special tunneling material. They already have a special tunneling crew called their
Yeah.
poor starving population. Um, I watch a guy that does a lot of the um, he was in Syria and stuff. He talked about the tunnels a lot, and I think he talked about Afghanistan too. But they're professional. You hire professional tunnel diggers, and then they dig your tunnels out, and then they leave and they go dig tunnels for somebody else. Like they have very
Well, they got
sophisticated
nothing
tunnel.
better
It's
to do, do they?
well, yeah, and they get good at it and they get fast at it. And so why wouldn't you just dude, if you're a war fighter, why wouldn't you just contract tunnel builders? It's the same thing like the cartels. Do you think the cartels in Mexico dig their own tunnels? Fuck no.
God
They
no.
contract their tunnel. Those some of those tunnels, like your resume worm, hell yeah. Like those tunnels are big enough, some of them to like drive cars through and stuff. And those aren't magical, boring machines. Those are just professional tunnel diggers, right? And I think like that's what the future
And
would be like.
I've seen pictures of some of the cartel tunnels, and I'll tell you what, I've never seen tunnels that are so square. They're really nice tunnels. I got to be
Because
honest.
they got to get lots of drugs on those carts and lots of children and
Yeah.
whatever else, and they got to run and that's also why they don't hear anything. You don't hear footprints. You don't get like the echoing because everybody's
No.
on rails. Everything's on rail systems. They got to
Yeah.
do a sonic
So,
sonic imaging or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how you stop
hmm.
it. You'd have to have giant honey badgers or something. I don't know. Giant metal worms.
Yeah.
There's a
Well, I was
video
watching a
game.
video this morning
Oh,
about honey. Apparently, honey badgers can be bitten by a cobra, and about 5 seconds later, they get up as if nothing happened. So it's they're,
I think the cobra
they're
bites the honey
you just
badger, then the cobra dies.
yeah. The cobra basically was attacking this badger or honey badger and bit it, and the honey badger went down, started spasming, and within 5 minutes it was standing up and going and eating the cobra.
Oh, man. Yeah. Um,
It's like,
yeah, honey
oh, okay,
badgers
a whole
are interesting. An interesting
they're
creature.
crazy.
They're well, they're one of the animals that has the philosophy where it's like I don't have to kill you, I only have to hurt you, so you're easier to kill for the next one. And
Yeah,
that's how like their entire
unless it's hungry.
Yeah, unless it survives, then it eats it and just becomes stronger like a fucking Pokemon. And yeah, I wouldn't. It's the same thing with like dogs and stuff. Like I can imagine eventually because you can train a dog. Dogs are a superpower. Like sooner or later, there will just be like, oh, we have tunnel searching dogs, and they're playing frisbee with the dog, and all of a sudden the dog stops and points, and you're like, oh, what's that? Oh, there's a tunnel under here, Lassie. Okay, and then they fucking bunker buster the damn thing, and they're like, all right, good job, and throw the dog a biscuit, and they're like, all right, let's go play frisbee over here. Sending
Well,
rods down from
speaking of bunker
satellites.
busters, apparently they reckon that that's why Russia hasn't actually done much in Kiev because they're basically attacking the tunnels they built to actually withstand nuclear bloody warheads, and so half of the people who are running everything over there are in these Cold War bunkers designed to resist nuclear weapons, and the Russians can't hit them because they're so far
Yeah,
underground and they built them so damn well that they can't actually touch them. And it's no different to the US dropping this stuff in Iran. They just, all they're getting, these biggest bunker busters they've got in the world can only get about 300 meters down, and they don't
yeah, they have to
do any
keyhole.
damage.
Yeah, they have to keyhole multiple ones and then try to get them to cause like concussions and or whatever the word's called.
Well, they've almost got
Uh,
to dig a hole with them.
well, what they
you
do
know,
is they cause like
it's like
shock.
digging a.
If they can get deep enough, what'll happen is they'll either implode the hole on everybody or it'll cause it's not like a shock wave. It's kind of like a compression. They cause like compression
Yeah,
on the inner thing and just turns everything inside into jelly.
it's a
Um,
mush.
Wishgen says thinking like a fox and chicken, et cetera, et cetera. The problem is, Wishgen, these tunnels are really deep, but what you can do is you can have seismic sensors that can sense the tunneling, kind of like a mine in the ocean or like a beacon or something. So your perimeter, if you were Texas, you have to have like seismic sensors basically. But if they're using humans that can just keep it below a certain amount, they're just going to dig right under your sensors.
Well,
But
apparently,
there
what
was
I was watching a video the other day because the nuclear testing agreements have all gone out the window, so everyone's just gone back to testing weapons again.
yeah,
And somebody raised the question, well, can't you just pick that up on a seismograph? And this guy's going, well, yeah, maybe back in the 60s, but these days apparently what they do is when they build these underground testing areas, they virtually surround it with water or some sort of
yeah,
malleable mixture. So
Jello,
when you send off a bomb, the shock waves don't they they reduce so much that, as opposed to what you would normally see on a seismograph when a bomb goes off, these things are about a third of that, and they're not as big either. So they barely show up. Um,
yeah,
so as opposed to back in the 60s where you used to get like I don't know, a 5 on the Richter scale, you're barely getting half a point on a Richter scale, even with a
yeah.
nuclear weapon.
I was laughing because I'm
And
imagining like
so,
mole men coming out and be like, "Knock it off!" Mutated
did you
mole
did you
people.
ever see the series on Chernobyl about the after effects,
The newer one, I've only
like
seen teeny.
what
That's
happened?
funny. I was going to bring up Chernobyl, but I haven't seen the show Chernobyl.
No, I haven't seen the show, but I as is usual, they show a bunch of shorts and it sort of piques your interest and you end up going out and buying it. And one of them happened to be on Chernobyl.
Hmm.
And at one stage, they had to basically build or bury underneath the reactor to put some sort of cooling machine or something like that, because the reactor was starting to actually go through the concrete and down into the ground. And if it had got through it all, and down into the water supply, there would have gone Europe, full stop. And so what they did was they went off to these where they were doing all the coal mines, and pretty much seconded all the guys that were building coal mines, digging all the tunnels, digging all the coal out, and they got these guys in, to basically dig it. And apparently while they were digging this thing under Chernobyl, they couldn't put any cooling stuff in there for some reason, and so all these coal miners, basically covered in black coal, each one of them looked like the better part of a bulldozer, and they're all walking around completely naked, because it was the only way they could actually work in the sort of heat that they were copping. They all knew they were going to die, um,
Yeah.
but
I
they
think
still did it
everybody
anyway. Um,
for the motherland.
so
Yes.
well, I don't think it was even so much for the motherland. I think all of them who were involved in it basically understood that this wasn't just about Russia or Ukraine, because Chernobyl's in Ukraine. Um,
Oh yeah, I know.
so so they knew it wasn't just for Russia/Ukraine. It was actually for entire Europe.
Well, that's how
And if
Europe
they
found
didn't
out
do it,
about it,
nobody
was
was.
because the radiation reached Europe and their sensors started going off.
Yeah, it was on the prevailing winds.
Yeah.
So, which
They're
is
like,
how
where
they
the
found
fuck
out
is
about
that
it in the
coming
first
from?
place. Because,
Are we at war right now?
well, they worked it out quite quickly because of the signature on the uranium. Um,
Hmm.
so each uranium puts out a certain type of signature, and so you can actually tell where it's actually come from, um, where it was mined, what it's being used in, etc., etc. So even though they picked it up on the prevailing winds, their instruments picked it up. They knew pretty much within a few hours exactly where it was coming from. Um,
Hmm.
but by that stage, it was like, if it's this strong when it's getting to us, how bad is this been? You know,
Yeah, and they're like, maybe you want
and
to
what are
pick
we
up the
doing to
phone.
actually fix it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was pretty much what they had to do. So yeah, I bought it because at the end I bought the DVD sort of, I think it was a 5 episode DVD thing, purely because I wanted to see what had actually happened. I knew there'd be some historical facts that weren't quite correct, but at least it gives you the overall story. So, and then it's up to you whether you want to see more.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. I do wonder like how the coal miners like saw, like was everything glowing down there so they kind of knew where they needed to dig. Um but
Um,
yeah, I know the
I mean, I
people
think
trying to
they
get
had pretty
water on
rough.
call, like the people trying to
Well,
cool it,
originally
they
there
can only
was a
be there for like 10
fire.
seconds
There
or
was a
something.
fire
Yeah.
that started, and basically the radioactive water was still in there. And what they were hoping to do was drain the radioactive water out.
Mm,
But because there'd been so much fire there, and because the firefighters had thrown so much water into it, all the supposed areas that they could have drained the radioactive water into were actually already full, from all the fire water or from all the fire hoses. So,
yeah.
it ended up just being one issue on top of the other on top of the other. So,
Yeah, and
but
all the
they eventually
firefighters
got it
got
all
cooked
sorted out.
because they couldn't fight they
Well,
couldn't get close enough, right? Without just becoming completely fried.
it was basically, from what the series sort of showed, the roof was on three different levels. And so the lower levels were okay. You could walk around on it. I mean, you didn't want to live there, but it was fine. The next one up was basically you can be there for like 10 minutes and then you've got to get the hell out and you can never go to a dentist ever again.
Right.
And the third one, they couldn't even fly. They couldn't even fly a helicopter over it at 5,000 feet
Yeah.
because the pilot would have been dead within about sort of 2 seconds after going across it.
Yeah.
Apparently, they even tried to send up lunar rovers, like rovers they were going to send to the moon, and it was so radioactive that it actually fried the electrical circuits.
Wow.
Um, so they put him up there, worked for about 3 seconds, and then shut off. It was dead.
That's crazy.
So you know, it was yeah. There was different levels of radioactivity associated with it. So and that's why they've been so worried about this whole Russia Ukraine thing because Ukraine are lobbing bombs right next to it, right next to where the concrete sarcophagus is. And apparently that's got to be replaced every 30 years, that entire sarcophagus. It's not for life, um,
Yeah.
because the radioactivity will actually eat through the concrete. So they've got all these sensors all over it. And basically, as soon as it gets to a certain point, they've got to go out there and make it thicker. And so
You'd
while
think
these
with the
guys are
half,
lobbing bombs at it, it's like,
yeah,
holy shit.
you'd think with the half-life it would eventually get better though, to where they wouldn't have to beef it up quite as often.
The half life is about 60,000 years. So,
No, I don't think
we-
that's.
yeah.
I don't think. I think that's another one of those numbers that scientists pull out of their ass, like saying the planet's been around for 70 trillion years every time they can't explain something.
Well, that's a distinct possibility. Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
it's been
it's,
scientists always say dumb shit like this. Like they complain about oil spills, but like if oil spills in the ocean were as serious as they said, by now the entire fucking ocean would be oil, and it's not because there's literally oil from oil underground that go into the water.
well, it's like,
So
where does oil come from? It's that whole debate as well. You've got,
yeah,
they've always called it fossil fuels, but
that's
I mean,
absolute
did it
bullshit.
really come from the dinosaurs or did it come from
I'm
somewhere else? I don't
I'm
know.
still a firm believer that dinosaurs didn't fucking exist. If we're being like either that or like the planet was. All right, I guess let's just get into it. We've been on long enough that this shouldn't get us in too much trouble. The planet used to be a lot
Oh,
smaller, right? The entire dirt planet, everyone says, oh, like it used to be Pangea, but then the rest of the planet would just be water, right? It wasn't that. The entire fucking planet used to be Earth, not water, which is why the original people here called it Earth,
hmm,
not water. 70 trillion years ago, when the first people landed here from the Jim Jim system, they like, oh, this is an earth ball. Let's call this Earth. And then there was earthquakes. It
yeah.
expanded some fucking how, volcanoes, blah blah blah, and then hydrogen, blah blah blah, water. It expanded, and then the planet cracked and separated into all these pieces. And somehow Australia drew the fucking short stick and got. That's why all this shit on like the
Stuck out,
eastern,
stuck a million miles away from bloody everyone.
yeah, your island, and the part of it, it's from dragons. The part of that that finally like checked the box to me is if you go look, we were talking about the islands near you the other day, the Solomon Islands, is that right? Um,
Uh,
no, the other islands, the islands that are like in
Papua New
north,
Guinea.
yeah. So like if you look at
Yeah,
those, or if you look at
Indonesia and
Hawaii,
all those. Yeah,
yeah, that was one volcano. It was one volcano, and the planet was moving, and it's like boop 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 boop. That's why all the fucking islands look
oh, the
like.
hotspot.
Yeah, that's why every set of series of islands is dot 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 because that's the way it was going.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the shit is shit just how fucking retards just blow my mind with some of the shit they say. And so
Well,
if
it's like,
you
where did all the water come from?
yeah, it's hydrogen and oxygen. It came from fucking plants and carbon dioxide. And then there's plant life in the ocean. It just kept making more of it. That's why it floods sometimes. and other times it doesn't flood, and then the water goes out, and there's the carbon monoxide and blah blah blah. It creates a giant ecosystem. I had to figure all this out to make sure one of my books didn't sound fucking retarded, because every 10 or 15 years, the here in the Pacific Northwest, every 10 or 15 years, the whole area rebalances itself like it just did a couple months ago, and we end up with these biblical sized floods. And it's like, whoa, where did the water come from? Oh, I don't know. It came from all the extra carbon dioxide in the air that gets carried out into the ocean, and then it turns into clouds, and then it sucks up the water, and then it comes back and it shits all the water out, and the water rushes back out. But if you think about the planets, the planet Earth as being really, really, really small, like whatever the atmosphere was, I guess conceivably lizards just keep growing forever. Hey, Nana, the lizards could have conceivably gotten bigger, right? Especially if the trees were getting bigger, if you believe in the whole giant petrified giant tree theory.
Oh, it was a difference in gases in the atmosphere. So there was a lot more oxygen. So things
Right.
grew a lot bigger.
Yeah.
And we
And so,
don't have anywhere near as much oxygen anymore.
right, which is why people pass out every time they try to climb up a mountain or go out to their mailbox.
Yeah,
So if you,
that's because they're
so I
fat.
get, yeah, or up the stairs if you're really unlucky. But
I
if
know,
you think
right?
about like, and instead of thinking of them like dinosaurs, it's just like, oh, the lizards were bigger back then. Just like the shit in the ocean is bigger. It's like, okay, but gravity must have, I mean, I still don't know how dinosaurs didn't just get crushed under the gravity. And so maybe if the planet was smaller, maybe it had less gravity then. So the dinosaurs could have walked around without just being crushed. But still, those didn't turn
Well,
into
see the
oil. And that's why people are retarded. That was my point.
well, I mean, I suppose if you come back in, what is it, 20 million years, and look under all the cemeteries. I mean, is there oil there?
Well,
I
the
don't
thing
know.
is that there must have been there must have still been tectonic movement, which means the tectonic plates must
Oh
have still
yeah.
been moving somehow, and the tectonic plates are lubricated somehow. It's not lava that the tectonic plates are shifting around on. Like not entirely anyway. Like do they think volcanoes are coming up from below the
Not
tectonic
all.
plates?
No.
Yeah, like as if the lava is from like the molten core of the planet. Ugh. Although I'm surprised
Well,
nobody
see
in chat
the
has like, yelled at me that I'm wrong yet. Kind of surprised.
well, see the scientific story is that basically all the planets were created out of just lumps of rock circling the sun, and some
Right.
of them just happen to clump into bigger bits than others.
Yeah.
Um, and basically, I suppose, right back at the beginning of the Earth's history, the Earth was pretty much a lumpen ball of
Yeah.
lava slash volcanoes slash um, tectonic plate movement, earthquakes, etc., etc. It was hell. It was basically hell. I mean, for all intents and
Yeah.
purposes,
It was
you
completely
didn't want to be
uninhabitable
there.
lava
You
planet.
didn't want to be anywhere near it. Yeah. And then one of these planets, around about the size of probably slightly smaller than Mars, and it was a planet called Theia, that they've called Theia. And apparently it struck the Earth because all this stuff was sort of floating around, and eventually stuff hit other stuff. Um, it wasn't a full on blow. It was basically I suppose, a side swipe. Um, but it pretty much destroyed Theia, and it
Uh-huh.
took a fairly large chunk out of Earth. And eventually, as time went on, they reckon that the moon was pretty much created out of part of Theia, part of the Earth,
Hmm.
which is why when they sent man to moon, what they were really looking at with the rocks was to see whether there was any indication that it had come from Earth,
Mm-hmm.
that was basically sourced there, not thrown there. Um, and I don't know where that sort of went, or, I think there was some rocks that had certain parts of Earth, but they couldn't discern whether it had been sort of bits that were thrown up that eventually ended up on the moon, or whether it was actually there from Thea. Um, and so during this sort of period of time, there was still a lot of rubbish sort of floating around, and they seem to think that that's where the water came from. Now, um, from asteroids, meteors, etc., that had huge sort of components of water in it. But I've never believed that, and I don't think anyone else ever has either, because if you think of how much water you can squeeze out of a rock, it ain't much. And we've got a lot more water here than what would come down out of a meteor shower, or out of a comet, or out of an asteroid. I mean, it's an insane amount of water. And I mean, you look at it, and I know there's people out there who don't believe we're on a globe, but you turn it around, turn
Mm-hmm.
the globe around, and more than three-quarters of that picture is basically water. And it's not just shallow water. I mean, it goes down miles, literally
Oh yeah.
miles down to the bed of the ocean. So you're talking more water than most of us will ever understand. And apparently that water has been recycling through the atmosphere ever since. So the water you pour into your cup is effectively several billion years old. It's
Do
just been
you
recycled. It's
do you think the entire ocean? I've never actually thought about that before. Do you think the entire ocean gets recycled, or do you think just the ocean on the top gets recycled? Or not? You not
I
recycled, but
would I would suggest
you know
probably,
what I mean.
yeah,
Reshuffled.
probably the top, because I mean, if you, well, let's put it this way: when you look at the way nuclear submarines sneak about, there's a there's an
There's the
area below the
layers.
surface called the thermocline. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
pretty much layered, and so you could have a full-on hurricane basically going off, say, 300 feet above a submarine, and it'd have. I mean, okay, yes, it would know it was going on because of the sensors, but otherwise you wouldn't have a clue, um,
And the other subs
because
can't
you're
really
quite
find you down there
stable.
because there's like a shear. It's like a shear, like a wind
It's
kind of a
it's a
shear zone.
density thing.
Yeah.
So basically the sound bounces off it as opposed to penetrate it, and
Yeah.
that's why they hide behind or hide below the thermocline. So even if you do an active ping, that's really just an absolute high powered buzz that can somehow get through the thermocline. But if you're just making a noise like a whale, you can't actually hear it above that thermocline. You can only hear it where you're situated at the time. So in terms of the water being evaporated off the top, again it comes down to how far the sunlight can penetrate down, and what sort of
Mm.
temperature it is, because I mean water will only evaporate at a certain temperature, and once you get down below a certain depth, that water won't evaporate anyway. So that's pretty much there to stay. And they reckon that's why the Titanic is degrading to a certain extent, but it's taking
Hmm.
a very, very, very long time to degrade. And in fact, it's not actually the salt water that's degrading it, it's all the animals that are actually stuck to the side of it that are breaking it down.
Which is why we need a preemptive strike on the barnacles. So I would say I I I partially disagree with you, and I think, and only because I'm staring at about a billion pictures of volcanoes trying to find the one I want. Sooner or later, if there's
Yeah, see, my
underground fissures, they probably would eventually stir the water up. Eventually,
oh, absolutely, yeah,
it
yeah,
would
and
take
and
an
that was that
eternity
was
though.
actually one of the big things they never believed before they sort of started sending a lot of this stuff down to those depths, because we could never reach it. I mean, they still say today we know more about the moon's surface than we do about the ocean surface, and that's simply because we can at least see the moon. We can't see the bottom of the ocean, and we certainly can't get there. Um, so
No,
we've got no idea. I mean, you can lidar it, you can do all those sort of things, but it doesn't. It tells you a certain amount, but it doesn't tell you everything. Um,
no, which is why we
and
should send a
so
bunch of
when they
untrained
when they
people
finally
down there
started,
with an Xbox controller.
well, when they started going down there, they discovered all these open fissures and couldn't
Yeah.
believe how much life was around it. Like it was so full of life and bacteria and God knows what else. Um, it was like there was more life on one of those stacks coming up out of the ocean floor than was within pretty much 100-mile diameter, circumference of that one stack. It was phenomenal how much life was on it. And they're
Hmm.
going, with the pressure of the water, how cold the water is, and how little light there is, how could anything survive down there? And as soon as they found it, it was like, okay, aliens can come from anywhere.
Oh
Because
yeah.
if it can live down here, who's to say it can't live somewhere else? And that's why they started looking at the moons around Jupiter, because they'd always just concentrated on Jupiter, and all of a sudden they're finding um, these moons that have virtually got all these geysers coming out of them, and they're going, well, shit! If even if it's the saltiest water in the world, there's got to be life there. It's just
Well, it could be
life
pure
form, but not
methane,
as
and
we know it.
there could be methane bugs. There could be methane plants. Um, that yeah, I finally found the cutaway I was looking for. Unfortunately, I don't know how to share it, but it has the cutaway of the planet, and it has the crust, the mantle, the core, and the inner core, which it says the lithosphere, asthenosphere, mantle, outer core, and inner core. I think people somehow think that volcanoes from the inner core go to the outer core of the mantle and the asthenosphere, but
No, no.
the lava is like the topmost layer,
It barely
just
right.
underneath
It
the dirt.
if you Yeah, it's pretty much like yeah. If you're looking at it, it's probably about 2 mil thick
Yeah,
compared to the thickness of the Earth. It's
yeah,
it's like it's nothing.
yeah.
It's yeah. It's certainly not coming from the middle of the planet. No, um, because that's basically solid. That's
Right,
There's not a lot of liquid down there.
and it's compressed.
Unless you believe the flat earthers who think I mean, there is a hollow earth theory as well, but I think a lot of that comes from from that Antarctica venture by, I can't remember his name. There was an admiral that went down there with an absolute fleet of aircraft carriers and ships and God knows what else after World War II.
Hmm.
And he went down there, and apparently his journal states that he flew his plane into this big hole down in Antarctica, um, and and they had a bit of a war. They came
Oh
back
yeah,
with
I've heard
half
it.
their fleet missing. Admiral Byrd, that's the one. Um,
You guys.
and within a couple of months of basically him getting back to wherever he came from in the US, he jumped out of a window, and everyone said, "Aha!" And of course,
That'll do it.
there's been this huge, it's I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to believe anymore. I really don't. Um,
Here's my
it's because he
I'll tell
went
you
down
my
there.
hollow earth theory. So, I used to I think there are absolutely hollow places. In fact, I know for a fact there are hollow places on the earth, and I'm not just talking about in Florida where those sinkholes exist. And
Yeah,
I don't even fucking ask me how that shit happens, because you would think that would all be full of salt water. So I don't. Florida is just an enigma. Period.
Yeah, it's funny how the ocean water's up here and all these holes are down there.
And they're huge fucking holes.
Yeah.
And people go, "Oh, they're old like
Oh yeah.
reservoirs." Where the fuck did the water go? But here in the even in the
I
Pacific
I I,
Northwest. Oh yeah, go
I
ahead.
can explain it because I actually lived in Mount Gambier and in Mount Gambier in South Australia, it's, I mean, if you're looking at a map, Mount Gambier is virtually down in the very, very low southeast of South Australia, and it's all limestone.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got a lot of sinkholes down there. There's
Mm-hmm.
even a few old volcanoes down there. In fact, Mount Gambier is
Mm-hmm.
actually named after Gambier Mount, which is the
Mm-hmm.
first fleet or one of the fleets that sailed around the ocean called it Gambier Mount, and that was the name of the volcano. We call it the Blue Lake because the water in it turns blue, and that was
There you
actually the
go.
town's drinking water supply, and still is.
Holy shit.
And so there's more caves under Mount Gambier than what there are actually bitumen roads on top, and that's been proven. Um, so there's a cave down there called the Umpherston sinkhole that the town used to use as a rubbish tip, and is now a rose garden and where the possums get really really drunk,
Understandable.
which is hilarious. But yeah, there's a pile of that stuff down there. Yeah, it's, and I'd imagine it's probably no different to Florida, except the water actually flows underground, flows through all the fissures in the limestone, and ends
Yeah.
up basically down at the ocean.
Okay.
So there is a natural gradient that actually goes down towards the ocean, and that's why some sinkholes are empty, some aren't, etc., etc.
Okay. Yeah, because I will. We're talking. I will concede that some of them are now empty reservoirs only because of stupid data centers and before that crypto to some extent. But like here in
Yeah,
the Pacific Northwest, like I'll see cracks in the ground, and there was this crack in the ground, and I turned the hose on, and I just left the hose on to the crack in the ground. Dude, I left the
and it
hose on
never
for
fills
half
up.
an hour, and there was no water anywhere. Yeah. I'm like, how
Yeah,
fucking far down does this go? It might, like, goodness only knows how far down that went. And it's probably because it goes down to an underground, not necessarily an underground aquifer. We kind of don't have those here, but it probably went to an underground stream, is my guess.
but
Otherwise,
water's
it
one of
wouldn't collect
those
stone.
things that will always, like, you put the tiniest pinhole in something, and like grab a bucket next time and just put a little tiny pinhole in there, and that bucket will be empty within like a few hours.
Hmm.
It's crazy how water just finds the smallest little bugger
Yeah, but not
hole.
here. Here, I'll
Um,
tell you how I'm used to it being here. The water table, because we're in the Pacific Northwest, usually the water will be pooling in about 10 seconds because the water table is like 2 inches below the
right on the
surface sometimes.
surface.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like if you're not
yeah.
careful, like we don't have quicksand here. You just sink into the mud that never fucking stops because under there somewhere is actually like a lake or a river or a stream or like a well that's not capped. Like you're not going into quicksand. That's actually just mud and death, which I found out the hard way as a kid. It rained so hard.
Oh, so it does exist.
What
I
exists?
always had this funny feeling that quicksand didn't actually exist. I just thought it was a movie thing.
I mean, it's not, I mean, we have, what I'm saying is my dad's backyard had a river that went out to the ocean under it. And for reasons unknown, his part of the backyard was covered up, but the neighbors on both sides didn't have their parts covered up. If it rained enough, because the water table just didn't exist, the dirt like liquefied. Like it was like liquefaction, except it was dirt, not sand.
Wow.
And so you could actually sink into the mud. Quicksand's the
Jesus.
same thing. Dirt and pine needles will do the same thing. I wrote about that in my book. Buy my book, everybody. Just kidding. None of you are going to buy my book
Yeah, buy his
that
book
don't
and buy
already
his
have it.
game.
But near the tree stumps here, kind of and this is more of like a hollow earth thing. Like the stump will rot, but the dirt and pine needles will still be on top because they don't weigh anything.
Yeah, yeah.
You can go straight down on one of those. My brother had to pull me out of one once. The other thing that can happen is the beavers here, those assholes dig straight down and then they hide their holes. And my dad went right up
Yeah.
to his torso, basically down on one leg. I don't know how he didn't break his leg, but yeah. So that's what we have here, which is why, trekking poles and pokey sticks and green pokey sticks and of course out here we have, tracks and tracks and tracks of them pulling out and putting in posts over and over again for generations. And they go 4 feet down. Like I've taken a 6-7 foot pokey stick and put it almost all the way down to the bottom because whatever auger they used
Jesus.
was putting in probably like 5 foot down post holes, massive, massive post holes. So yeah, it's nuts. Anyway, blah blah blah. Enough about me
Well,
and buy my book.
make it hard building fences because I mean, at the end of the day, you guys have got some pretty weird wind there as well. So, and if the soil's no good and the wind's blowing a gale, well, there goes the fence.
Well, yeah, two things. That's the first thing. The second thing is you can,
And what about the
if you,
house?
well, the house is held down by gigantic cinder blocks that it's tied to underneath the house, so it can't blow away. So there's
Yeah,
there's
but
the
I'm talking
problem
about
with the
soil.
you're talking about. I it's weather gapped somehow.
Yeah, but
They
what I
weather
mean,
they weather.
see,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been involved in houses for years.
Oh, you can come over sometime and
And
tell me because I don't fucking
before we
know.
actually well, we, we,
Fucking know.
we, well, before we even start building, right, we do what are called bore logs, which are
Yeah.
basically where I suppose a truck comes out, digs 3 boreholes down where you're going to be building a house, and
Mm-hmm.
takes soil samples. Now these boreholes go down to, I mean, the regulations state they've got to go down to at least 3 meters, or I think it's 10 feet. I think 10 feet and 3 meters are about the same.
Mm-hmm.
And they're only about, I suppose, 4 inches in diameter. So they pull those up and pretty much get out of that, they get what's called a YS value. And it's normally nominated in millimeters. So that's how much the ground moves between when it's wettest and when it's driest.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And they use that in the program that they use to actually then go ahead and design the foundation depth, the steel that you've got to use, the bars, the reinforcement, etc., etc. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, across Adelaide, we've got the worst soil in the southern hemisphere, and I'm talking
Mm.
worldwide.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah. You guys
the
rolled the shit
soil
dice.
moves. Pretty much, yeah. So you guys use a standard. Hang on a sec, I'm looking at this. A 12-inch ruler,
Mm-hmm.
like just in your stationery. You've got a
Mhm.
standard 12-inch ruler. Right. So our soil was moving basically one and a half of those.
Like up and down or left
So
and right?
anywhere from
Or always?
360.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
that's terrible.
So
Okay.
yeah, they were actually digging out green dirt, 600 or 2 feet to 3 feet below the surface. It was actually green,
Mhm.
and it was
That's
wet
weird.
after like 2 weeks of 120-degree weather. So
Mhm.
it wasn't just wet; it was actually drenched, and that's what
Yeah.
they call clay. It's Bay of Biscay clay.
Okay.
Now, if that's happening at the front of the house and not the back of the house, that house ain't going to survive long, right? So they had to
Okay.
come out with different ways of actually building a concrete foundation on which to build a house on. And one of the ways was one of the engineers decided that what they would do is they'd almost go commercial. So they built about
You
a
mean
two
like
and a half meter
uh,
diameter.
bore into the,
Yep, went
bedrock?
into the earth. Yep,
Yeah.
went down around about 20 or 30 metres. They ringed it with
Jeez.
reinforcement and steel rods, poured concrete down it, and then basically floated the slab on top of about two or three of these things,
So, like,
right?
yeah, like
With the
floats,
idea that,
basically.
yeah, so the idea would be that it didn't matter what happens to the earth underneath, the house would still be stable.
Okay.
Except it actually ended up on the news, but people had basically left their 3 month, not even probably 2 month old house. Only just opened the doors 2 months ago, moved all their gear in, gradually went back to work as you do. The whole family leaves work in the morning, comes back in the afternoon to find that their carport is basically demolished.
Because it's
And
not
they've now got
because
a step
it's
between where it
yeah,
actually snapped in half.
because it wasn't on the concrete pad, right?
No, it was all connected. Oh yeah, yeah. No, the 2.5 meter diameter, um, I suppose, pier that went down into the ground nearly 20 meters had actually snapped in half and
The
moved.
pad snapped. Okay.
Yeah,
Or the bar or the pillars
like
snapped.
the pillars.
Oh, the pillars
The
snapped.
pillars
Okay.
actually snapped.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
died.
that was holding
Insurance.
up the suspended concrete floor.
How do you even insure that?
And
You'd be
this
so
this
effed.
Oh, the engineers went broke. They no longer
Ah,
exist. The houses had to be rebuilt, um, because it was deemed impossible to live in. They were completely unsafe after two
condemned.
months.
Call that condemned.
Um,
Yeah.
and there wasn't just one or two of them. There was nearly 20 or 30 of these houses that had to go.
The
They
sad
had to
thing is,
start
like, it
again.
sounds like a good idea, but moving Earth is like probably the most powerful thing there is. Like landslides. Like,
Well, I've always said, I don't care, how strong you think your house is. If 20,000 kilometres of dirt underneath your house wants to move, it bloody well will.
it doesn't even have to move
And it
fast.
doesn't care what's sitting on.
Like,
Yeah, it doesn't care what's sitting on top. Um,
yeah,
too bad, too sad. And unfortunately, we saw that in Venezuela. Unfortunately, we've seen that, in other areas where earthquakes have happened. It doesn't, like those earthquakes are only lasting maybe a minute,
well, it happened
and
here with the
that's the end
rainstorms.
result.
Like the landslides that we get from rainstorms are just batshit insane. The
Well,
water goes
what
under
happens
the
is that
earth
it,
and then just takes it all.
yeah, it pretty much takes it all. Yeah, it's. I mean, the bedrock realistically is depending on the bores. The bedrock could be 60 meters below your house, and what's sitting on top of it is a result of thousands of years of topsoil just sitting there,
Yeah.
and you get enough water, you get enough ground movement, it'll all move. yeah, without any problems at all. It can look as solid as anything, but it's not. It's got a whole bunch of little cracks, little holes, all those sort of things that get through it all.
Nebraska.
And you get water in there, and it'll expand it all, and the wider the joint, the more it's going to move. So
Yeah. So to answer your question here, what's really funny is we had the pear sucker, and then we nursed it through the winter and all the bird attacks and stuff. And we went and planted it the other day, and it was overcast, so it wouldn't just immediately get vaporized. All right, take care, Kendall. Um,
yeah, I think
and
everyone's going to sleep.
yeah, fuck them. Fuck all of you if you can't stay awake. I'm joking. Um, so, but it had been dry. It had been bone dry and hot for 2 or 3 days. I could not get the green pokey sticks more than like 6 inches into the ground. And I mean, I'm hitting these with with a big, like a ball peen hammer, like whatever, like a carpenter hammer, like as hard as I can. And I mean, I'm
Yeah,
full
yeah.
send, because I've done probably 100 of these green pokey stick, some of them multiple times. So I waited. I could not get them in, and I was mushrooming out these green pokey sticks. These are the reinforced ones. So it rained. I went back out and I hammered them in about another 6 inches, because that's
It
that's
sounds
the
like you. It
difference.
sounds like you've got clay. Yeah,
It's
it sounds like you've got clay with some floaters and stuff like that hanging around.
there is
So
some tough
floaters are
stuff in
basically
there.
just chunks of rock um, that
Yeah,
that are just. It's pretty much geology 101. The higher you get on a hill, the closer you are to bedrock. The lower you get down into the valley, the more topsoil you've got. And so it depends on where you are on that hill,
right.
as opposed to, because bedrock doesn't just go, like, you just don't go from dirt to bedrock. You go as a gradient. So as you
Crumbly
get
bits.
closer to the bedrock, you get a lot more loose rock sitting in the soil. And so if you're trying to, and if it's clay, it'll get just drenched and really slippery, and just, it's like glue. Like, seriously,
Hmm.
you go to dig a hole, and you're pulling more dirt or mud up with your shovel. When you go to empty your shovel, there's still just as much dirt on the shovel as what there was that you've just thrown off the shovel. Um, so, and during summer, it goes as hard as a rock, and it does actually open up into cracks, and you can pour water down it. I've often said, like,
Hmm.
people, when they first moved into these areas, they wanted to put down concrete driveways, and we're going, for God's sakes, don't put down concrete, put down actual
Puns.
pavers. Because I can almost guarantee you that in 6 months you'll be ripping up your driveway and replacing it with pavers. And they're going, no, 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 our budget
That's
only
just
allows concrete. Okay, fair enough.
that's just like a sharp kind of gravel, kind of a gravel, right? Type of
Um,
gravel.
pavers, pavers are like clay pavers. They're
Oh, like
individual.
stone,
They're like
like.
bricks that you put down. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
Um,
okay. Yeah, yeah.
so so we said, look,
Cobblestones.
put down your, yeah, cobblestones. We'll stick with that. So put down cobblestones instead of just plain concrete driveway. And of course, these days when you drive through that suburb, there's not a single concrete driveway anywhere. They're all cobblestones, pavers,
Yeah, everyone here just uses
because because all
gravel.
their driveways have cracked. Um,
Yeah,
and we told them, you know,
and
but
they
you can
say
only
keep
tell
it
people
going.
certain things before they go, no, 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 you're just trying to get us to spend more. No, 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 we're telling you the truth.
Well, they want an
of
aesthetic, and they
course, they
don't
never
give a
come.
shit. Yeah,
Oh no,
exactly.
it's basically it's a cost thing. Um, they think a builder is basically trying to rip them off, and it's like, no, we're telling you, you can put down a concrete driveway. That's fine if that's what you want and that's what you can afford. Okay, but we're
Nobody
telling
here
you
does
it's not
that.
going to last more than 6 months.
Everybody here
And
is
6 months later, the thing is cracked.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
And
reason they do it,
then you just
because
re-gravel
it doesn't matter what you. Yeah, because if the ground moves, cracks, whatever, you're just going to be redoing whatever you spend a huge amount of money on. So in the end, they just go, nah, not doing cobblestone, not doing concrete. We'll just put down gravel, because who cares? It's cheap.
J
Um,
Pass has got a message for you in the chat.
Concrete that's cracked and concrete that's going to crack. Yeah. Well, see, it's like Wisdom said, the other issue that we're not talking about is the fact that when water gets into
Oh,
concrete
freeze
or
thaw
into
cycles.
into other areas,
Yeah.
freezes, it opens up the gaps even more.
Yeah, and it can do
So,
that 3 times a
you know,
day here. So, and studded
yeah,
tire. I don't know if you guys have the epidemic known as studded tires there, but the freeze thaw cycles plus studded tires is horse shit. And they should have to
yeah, we don't
pour
get cold enough
plenty.
for that.
Well, we don't get cold enough for it here too. That's not what I fucking said. um, and so it's been my belief that as soon as you put those studded tires on, if you get those done somewhere, you should have to like pay into a road fund. And yeah, tire chains,
Absolutely.
at least tire chains, we can openly mock you if the road's dry. But studs, people put the studs on in like October, and they don't take them off until April. And we don't it ices up like once or twice every 2 or 3 years here. And it's usually frost, and studs don't work on frost. And it just
But
destroys
see,
the road.
here's here's a question. Most areas over there where it does snow, they put salt on the road,
No, not here on the West Coast. You would
correct?
get killed if you. So if someone found out that you put salt on the roads here, you would be in a ditch. Like we have
Yeah.
this slushy. We have an environmentally friendly slushy snot that looks like looks like they're spraying KY jelly, KY jelly everywhere, and it's just like it's
Don't
like an
tell everyone.
environmentally de-icer. It does. It just looks like they just ran by with a giant jelly, KY jelly bottle and squirted it. And if they can get that on before we get like freezing rain, you won't even know that any nasty weather happened. But if they try to put it on
Yeah.
after, you're fucked. But yes, JPass, they will. If they can't get the de-icers out, they'll sand the roads, which kind of makes them
Right.
grit. But no,
Well, as long as
dude,
they're not
if
using salt anymore, because I mean, salt will kill a
oh no,
car.
in some states they absolutely still do. They just don't do that here in the West Coast.
Oh my
But
God.
I think somewhere in the East, and you can tell because all the cars have no no bottoms. They have no.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen
You can see
what
through the
happens to
floor.
F-150s over here in Australia. Those bloody things rust out in no time at all. So let alone
Yeah.
bloody adding salt. Jesus. I mean, there's certain cars you just don't buy in Australia because everyone knows that they're gonna die because they'll just be rusted hunks of junks within a few years. Let alone throwing salted or salt all over a bloody ice road. I mean, I
Yeah.
get the fact that they're trying to be safe, but surely there's a better way.
Yeah. KY jelly. Apparently, that's what they use here. I mean, at
KY
least that's
jelly.
that's what it looks like.
Hey,
Lube the fuck
it
out of that
solves a lot
road.
of issues, really. That.
It does. People are
um,
sliding around because it's lubricated now.
I know, right?
That's what it looks
Just make
like.
sure none of them take any of it home.
I
You'll
know.
be
Well,
okay.
the cars. All of a sudden, there's a bunch of baby cars. It's like, where the fuck did those come from?
Hmm. Wonder where.
They have to keep us alive paying taxes.
Oh,
Not for much longer, JPass. Do you think sex robots are going to pay taxes? I mean, I guess through the subscription fee, maybe. I don't know if JPass caught that
well,
part of the
yeah. Why don't they
conversation.
make them unattractive? There's a question. I mean, if you're going to make a robot, why do they have to be so damn attractive?
I mean, the Jetsons robot was just a big. She wasn't even really female shaped. She just had a. I can't remember the robot's
Well,
name
why
in
do they have to be
Jetsons.
male or female?
Uh, because they got to make sandwiches, and you don't want a male robot making your sandwiches, do you? Rosie, thank
Yeah, but
you.
why does it have to be male?
Analog.
Why does it have to be male or female?
Do you want a
It's
transgender
there to do
robot
a
making your
job, not
sandwiches?
it doesn't have to have a face. Why does it have to have a face?
That sounds very face-ish.
Yeah, but you know what I mean?
You anti-face. I think what it would be actually is, I think it's like the China robots. It would people have to see a face because they have to have something to look at, and us, especially children, they're always having to look up at the face, which is why when children draw their parents, it's a stick figure than a giant face, right? So like robots have to have them. It could be
Yeah.
an LED screen, which is probably it would have to be a binary robot unless it's a quantum robot, but I think it would have a. I was making a robot joke. Oh, sorry. Laura's not used to me just like full sending how I actually talk. Sorry. Sorry, Laura. You don't listen to my podcasts very much.
Yeah,
A coin
I
slot
think
or
I've been
credit
out the
card
best of
reader.
you.
They send a snow cone
A
hair
credit,
color too.
yeah. Well, that would be probably a better option because you probably got to pay for upgrades every month, or you got to pay for your subscription. Otherwise, the robot simply shuts down.
Yeah, it'll have a
If you're
it'll have
one
a web.
second overdue.
It'll shut down. They'll come to reclaim it, or it'll just Sparta kick your door open and go walk back to the truck waiting outside with
Well,
all the
apparently
other
that's what they're going to do with self-driving cars.
Cherry 2000 exactly.
Oh, you
And
forgot your payment. It just locks you in the car and drives you back to the dealership.
yeah,
He says, "I don't want to drive. I don't want to drive with you in a car anymore."
I think the thing Jay passed about the snow cone hair is like what'll happen is the robot you'll be at work and the robot will be like, I decided I don't like my hair color, and it's got your credit card loaded. And it's like, all right, well, I guess say it's going to be pink and purple. That's the premium hair, but it's on sale today for 20% off. You come home and your sex robot's got $2,000 fucking hair color change. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, how many loot crates did you have to open to get that hair color change?
I could make so many comments right now.
Yeah,
Oh, I'd be in so much trouble right now.
you don't want it
No,
shutting
I
down at the
can't
wrong
say it.
time. I think having
Um,
a robot that could be like a surgeon, like would you pay talk going back to the robots, like lifting a car or something? If you could pay your robot the surgeon upgrade to where your like robot could do surgery, like you could actually legitimately make money with a surgery robot as long as you got to keep some of that money
yeah,
somehow. Like it would pay for itself pretty quick having like a surgery robot. I'm sure there's some things they wouldn't let people. You'd have to get that like a robot medical certification for your robot to be doing surgery, I guess. They wouldn't want everyone having surgery robots because then it would just make doctors.
oh yeah, the hospitals would be out of business in a real hurry, wouldn't they?
Yeah, because nobody would go to their medical. Like, well, our medical robots have newer
Yeah, they just get it
patches
done
than
at
yours.
home. I mean, as long
Yeah.
as you've got all the supplies and everything else, but yeah, why go to a doctor?
Oh,
Why
that's
go to
right.
a, you know,
Yeah. you'd still need like blood. Like there'd still be shit that you'd have to go to the hospital for. They still wouldn't let you'd be able to have a surgery robot, but you still
Well,
couldn't have disposable staples.
there'd almost be a supply as opposed to, pretty much employing all the surgeons, the doctors, the legal staff, the admin staff, the nurses, and everything else. It'd just be a supply shop. As long as you had
Yeah.
it'd be
Oh,
no
your
different going. It'd be no different to going to a store and where you need a light, where you need to show your license first before you can actually purchase whatever it is you're after.
yeah.
If you've got a surgeon robot sitting at home, all they do is go up there, you scan their barcode, and hey presto, they'll here's your blood supply for whatever you're intending to do.
But how would they? Oh, never mind. I already know the answer to this. I was going to say, how would they get the blood? But I know it's because that'd be the only thing left worth any money until they can synthesize it.
Well, who says they don't just synthesize it?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it'd
Well,
be like that
they're
meat lab.
synthesizing breast milk at the moment because there's
Yeah.
women out there who can't breastfeed, so they're synthesizing breast milk. I mean, breast milk is basically a natural
Yeah.
resource, and probably not far off from being blood itself. So what's the difference?
I don't know. I'm not a fucking doctor. It's a good question though. I'm
No,
sure
neither am I.
if they can solve lab grown meat to where you just have, the meat tumor in your fridge that you just hack a piece off every couple days. I'm sure there's nothing that stops your meat tumor in your fridge from just being able to make whatever blood you need. I mean, which is, I know, even crazy dark because it's like, no, you think that that's a cow meat tumor? No, it's probably a person meat tumor. I think you and I have maybe talked about this
Who knows?
before.
Well,
Um,
yeah, McDonald's. I mean, how many Big Macs do they sell? I mean, is there that many cows in the world? Seriously?
well, I thought it was you, but maybe it was somebody else that was saying like the meat tumors are actually going to be like people meat tumors, not animal meat tumors. Like they were
Well, that's
making
where
them
I'm
for
going with the
children somehow.
McDonald's thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, like, I guess they could have, like, oh, your type AB, like Amazon drops your type AB meat tumor starter kit that you go throw in the fridge and feed it its meat powder supplement, 3D meat.
Well, see,
Yeah. Yeah.
well, considering how much people know about, how much they reckon everyone knows, like Google and all these sort of places know about each person. I don't know what my blood type is. I would have
I don't
no
know.
idea.
I don't know what mine is either. The doctors won't
Most
tell me, and
most
it's
people
not
don't. No.
which is funny because they've done enough
Apparently,
tests.
even if you
Yeah, but just they don't
well,
look.
that's where I was going. Even if they do a blood test, unless you specifically ask to get them to test what your blood type is, they won't do it. So even though you get blood taken and it gets tested and blah blah blah, like they'll tell you how much cholesterol you've got, they'll tell you how much, you know, whatever else is going on in your body at the time, but they don't actually test what your blood type is unless you actually specifically ask for it.
Yeah, and I've never
So
donated
most
blood.
people don't actually know what their blood type is.
Yeah, the last time I walked by a blood drive, they were trying to bring somebody back, and I'm like, still no, fuck that.
Yeah, I'm not giving my blood, not now that I know how much they charge for it and where it all goes and who makes money
Oh
off it.
yeah,
No way in the
you
world.
guys. I think your guys'
And
blood is
if I
cheaper.
donate blood, at least you guys get paid for it. Like if
Yeah,
you, in America, if you donate blood, you actually get money for it. But here in Australia, we don't. We get a cup of tea and a biscuit.
yeah, fuck that. Just so they can go build another meat tumor that's got your blood and DNA and shit in it.
Well,
I
they
wonder.
take it and then
Ugh,
they sell. I think it sells for something like $1,000
oh,
a
it's a
liter
lot,
or something. It's just
and
an
it just gets
obscene amount of
laundered
money
through
for.
insurance. too. It's just an
Yeah,
insurance money
sorry,
laundering.
a cookie. Sorry, a biscuit is a cookie. I forgot. I keep talking Australian, not American. Yeah, it's an obscene amount of money, and like they buy it, and then they sell it to the hospital for like $5,000 a litre, and then the
Right.
insurance company
Yep.
charges you like $200 a litre because I don't know how it all works, but somehow they manage to charge whoever's getting that blood, that donated blood put into them, they somehow charge them for it. And it's like, there's no way I'm donating blood. No way in the world.
Yeah. And to Jay
It's
Pass's
ridiculous.
point, I know people would be dying left and right if people didn't give blood. Like, I'm not shitting on those people at
Oh,
all.
look,
I think
yeah, I get all that.
they have the right intentions. Like, it's the
I
best
think there's
intentions.
probably
It's just a
enough
weird
people who
thing.
refuse to give. There's enough people who are giving it as opposed to those who are refusing to give it to actually keep those people alive. So
Yeah.
providing that ratio sort of remains the same, I'll refuse to give it. So,
Here's the
you
thing
know,
though, in that regard, do you think if one day, not, I mean, people are too fucking retarded to do this, or really anything coordinated. They can't even get people to stop buying gas for a day or fuel, petrol. But do you think if everyone stopped donating blood for a week, do you think for 1 minute that they wouldn't just start fucking going door to door and dragging people off?
I have no
You
doubt about
fucking
it.
know they would. You know they would.
Yeah, yeah.
The second they were during the Rona, they were already about to go house to house here with fucking roaming gangs of they had a
Oh, look,
roaming abortion clinics too. They had roaming abortion clinics.
there
So
were
you
there was
think
so
for
many
what?
stories being told back then
Yeah,
about people with unvaccinated blood. You know how much
yeah.
that had gone up. As to whether it was actually true or not, I don't know.
Well, yeah. Regardless, like, like you'd never know because you can't ever believe anything they say anymore because there's no independent studies of any of it. So you don't know.
If you look at the actions as a whole,
Yeah,
with regards to what they've been doing in terms of money, in terms of everything that's been going on for the last 5 or 6 years, I think anyone who's even relatively smart enough would look at it and go, they'd just do whatever the hell they want if they had to, and they just don't care. I don't honestly think they would they would even think twice about going door to door if they needed something, based on
yeah.
everything that I've seen for the past 6 years. I don't think they care.
No, there would be a lot of I don't know if you ever saw this movie called Tank Girl. There's been a couple of other movies like it too, where basically they just suck. Or actually, Dune. They did it in Dune also, where they just suck the water out of everybody when they die. Um, it would be like that
Yeah.
with blood. Like you like twist your ankle, and oh yeah, because like on your driver's license, instead of being a bone marrow donor and an organ donor and a blood donor, just be like, nope, he's gone. Get his blood next. I twisted my ankle. It doesn't matter. Sorry. Platelets
Mm.
too. Yeah, but I think I Nana says homeless and mental patients would be the first. I'm still not. I'm still not clear on the science of like which drugs, like which street drugs, aren't like tainting people's blood so bad, or if they're no dead exactly, or like if their liver and kidneys are just shot, you can't get you can't transfer that blood to somebody that would fucking die. Yeah, I agree, Nana. I'm not a doctor, but I'm pretty sure like if someone's liver and kidneys are fucking toast from being an alcoholic their whole life, like I don't know, maybe you can filter that blood. I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm not medically trained to even.
Which is why you need to get a medical robot girl, like I would like the one I made
Robot.
you for the video game, the medical robot girl.
I know, right?
You walk up to her and she shoves an apple in your mouth and kicks you back out of the hospital. Yes, dialysis. That's what I couldn't think of the words. You know, yeah, you'd end up with. There's a Blade. I can't remember which Blade. If it was a Blade movie or if it was Blade the series, where like, and there's been other vampire movies too, where they just have like everyone just disappears, and it's because they're all in warehouses and giant Ziploc bags for the
I
vampires.
think that happens in pretty much every
Everything.
vampire movie. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
been Draculas and things like that where they've got like entire facilities with just bodies hanging in plastic bags.
yeah.
um,
It's
yeah,
it's it's dark, but it's interesting that people finally like thought to the end result of like,
well, it's kind
actually having vampires is a horrible idea.
it's kind of like the Matrix, isn't it? You know,
It
whether all
is.
the
It
bodies
is.
are in those you've been used as batteries. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
it's not much. There's not much difference really. Both of them are being pretty much farmed.
The
So
difference is like
I mean, it's
vampires. Yeah, why the Matrix future wouldn't work is because eventually the people inside the Matrix would figure AI out, and then the Matrix would be like, "Oh, fuck those fucking idiots." And then the Matrix is like, "We can't run the AIs in this damn simulation without making more making more computers." Like, "Well, we can't. We're not making more people." And they're like, "Shit, those
well,
idiots."
the problem
Restart
is
it.
that the
Reboot
AI would only ever agree with you. You're right. I didn't
it. Yeah.
think of that.
I know, and they're like, "It's broken out of the simulation." Yeah, that would be
Oh,
so yeah, they
I mean, that's just hilarious. That is.
Matrix 4 could have been so much better, but the Wachowski brother, the one Wachowski brother that fucking hated the series, decided to kill the 4th movie. It would have been so funny if that's the way they'd gone. And no, I'm not gonna
I
call him the
reckon I've only
Wachowski
ever seen the
sisters.
first two.
The first 2 are
I
really
reckon I've
good.
only
The
ever
3rd one
seen the first two.
the 3rd one
Yeah,
sucked.
everyone said don't watch the third one. Yeah, don't watch the third one because that's just rubbish.
Oh, it's like watching the
And
3rd
now
Star
for some
Wars.
reason, YouTube are basically sending me Matrix stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I
Yeah,
should go and get it just to see how much it does suck.
it's the problem is the 3rd one doesn't make any sense. The first
Sense.
2
Yeah.
are the first 2 are very much like a part 1 and a part 2 of a movie. Part 2 is really fucking way better than it had any right to be. And then 3, it just takes it all and it's like it doesn't make any continuity sense, I guess is what I'm saying with the first 2.
Yeah, it's the studio just basically trying to make a shitload of money off something which everyone likes, which
Yeah,
is no
it's the
different
same
to
thing
any
with
other
like
third movie of any series.
yeah, like the 3rd Star Wars
You
Revenge of
know?
the Sith, where it's like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah,
Like Clone Wars was
yeah.
amazing. And then all of a sudden it's just like, no, we have to skip it. We have to do this next part. It's like, but nobody wants to see.
Well,
Oh, it doesn't matter.
no one
Like the
wanted to
first,
see the love story.
oh, it's
I
so,
mean, it was like, where
yeah,
do you reckon Luke and Leia came from? I mean, did they just appear out of nowhere? I mean, there had to
the
be something
immaculate, or no,
that happened between kids and, you
yeah,
know, immaculate conception.
immaculate
Oh,
conception. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah. Yeah. The first 2 were really
yeah.
good. Like everyone hated the second one. I saw that in theaters. I'm like, holy shit, I just want to watch this movie forever. Um, And like the arena scene, oh, with the giant monsters. Oh man.
Yeah.
I
That was
had some
cool.
feels.
I
I had
liked
some
it.
feels when like the heroic, like he's coming to save her, but she's already saved herself, and like giant
Yeah,
critters and Mace motherfucking Windu.
yeah, but yeah, but you just liked her in the white bodysuit, so like
I
every other
mean, I
guy pretty
can't.
much did. So
I mean, what do you want? I didn't dress her up like that.
I know.
They knew what they
No,
were doing.
I can't understand why anyone dressed her up like that. I mean, it was.
No,
I mean, it would
because
have been nice considering. Well,
why did they
considering
dress
that
her?
she'd been
Well,
dressed
she's
in
the
all those
princess.
bloody costumes prior to that point.
Well,
God,
she had, yeah,
they would have
she had.
weighed a ton.
Oh yeah, she got. Well, she got used to the. She got tired of the crazy hair too. She's like, "Fuck this." That was her war suit,
Yeah,
man. When people go to war, they put on their war suit. But like, you go look at
your
what is it?
pajamas. Well, actually, it looks like thermal underwear.
Yeah,
It
but
was just
she's
basically white thermal underwear in the middle of a desert.
yeah. Hmm.
What?
It could have had a little more padding. I guess that would make more sense.
Oh, if you're going to war, put on the, you know,
Put on
the plate
you
carrier
think,
and the armor and the.
which is funny
You know,
because the Naboo police people definitely had armor when they were fighting the robots. So you'd think
yeah,
if she was the princess that she would have had like a royal armor suit, not a cat suit.
armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they used to do that even back in medieval times. Like the king used to come out in like gold-plated
Yeah.
armor, and he always had like a, you know, I mean, he had the money, so he had the best protection and the best armor and the best
The biggest
sword,
horse.
and you know, yeah,
Yeah.
the Queen of Nibiru comes out in her white thermals.
Fuck yeah. She
It's
wasn't
like,
taking any shit.
what the hell?
Hey man, that's what
I don't know.
if that's what you want to go to war in. I mean, you're right though. It should have had some like at least a little bit of padding in the elbow, like sewn in padding in the
Yeah,
elbows or something. Oh,
yeah,
Nana,
I know.
we're not
Oh,
being
come on,
that
you
bad.
two are worse than girls with your wardrobe. Yeah. See, this is the way boomers talk, and this goes back to your original question.
True. But I
Like
am like 83 years
Gen
old.
Z versus boomer. But see, the funny thing is, when I go out these days and I see girls heading to a nightclub, it's like, for God's sakes, put some bloody clothes on. like, like, seriously,
Yeah,
you're
but
standing there and it's pouring down with rain, it's freezing cold, and they've got a bloody jacket on. It's like, seriously?
well, they gotta attract the other side. I think the thing is, Nana, is that I think there's like a difference with like I don't know. Gals especially if I'm gonna really like put on my super analytical hat, gal stunt choreographers and gal stunt women actually complain about it all the time that their clothing to do their stunts in is basically non-existent, which means gal stunt gals are actually taking those hits. They're not padded. They're very,
Yeah.
very, very barely padded at all. Not like guy stunt guys. And so I've watched a lot of gal stunt interviews, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, we're just actually taking those hits." Like they get the shit beat out of them doing those stunts, and some of them get like maimed and worse. And so if I was going to have a movie, even if
Is
I
it,
wanted her to wear a cat suit, there would still be padded elbows and knees, just so the stunt gal didn't get the shit beat out of her. I just that was my point. Not that she needed to, put on a fucking burqa and go to Burqa with her tofurkey and that's not tofurkey's not the
well, I
right
mean,
word. That's
I don't know.
something else. Burkini. There we go.
I don't Most
I know they
most of the
chose
women
that
I've ever
job, but
met
the
are
wardrobe people
basically
could make it a little
freezing
bit
cold
better.
all the time. So it's like, put
Yeah.
some bloody clothes on then.
They did choose the job, Nana, but like there's
Well, I mean, I
there's
must admit the stars are getting paid huge amounts of money, so get over it. You know, don't
yeah, but the
complain about
stars
it.
aren't
You're
getting
getting
beaten
paid
up.
for it. So,
The stars aren't getting beaten up
well,
like the
no,
stunt gals though.
there's a distinct cut, and then somebody else comes on and gets beaten up, and then
Yeah,
it's like, okay, cut, and then the star comes back in with makeup bruises and looking
right.
as fit as a fiddle after being
Well, the
beat
stunt
to a
person has
pulp.
real bruises.
Um, Yeah,
The king.
and they're wandering around like nothing's bloody happened. Oh, this 3-inch cut on my head that I got like 30 seconds ago. Yeah, I'm okay. Now, what mathematical equation do you want answered? And it's like most of us would just be sitting in a bloody hospital for like the next week.
Well, yeah, like the first
It's
Mortal
like
Kombat.
there's no realism.
Even in the first Mortal
So
Kombat, the guy that played Liu Kang, like, friggin' cracked his spine or some damn thing on like one of the like, and he
I
could have
I
been
want that
wearing
movie to
clothes.
come out on DVD again.
Yeah, the very,
You're
very,
talking
very
about the one
first
from 1995,
95. Yeah,
from 95?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
with Christopher Lambert in it.
Oh yeah. No, Nana,
Yeah,
you're. I think
easily the
Nana likes to completely miss the fucking point on purpose. Nana, I'm not talking about them wanting more money. I'm saying whoever designs the outfits could design them in a way to where at least they can be padded so these stunt people don't hurt themselves. And I had a coworker whose son was a stunt double and was had to do a backflip or something and basically like almost paralyzed himself and was completely like the stunt people don't get even paid enough in insurance to be able to um be able to if stunt people got paid properly, they would get paid enough every single job to be able to afford the rest of their life if they can't do their job anymore. Is my point. Like there's no safety on sets. Like otherwise Alec Baldwin wouldn't have been able to two bullet one, two birds with one bullet, Mr. Alec Baldwin. Like safety is just not even a priority on these sets. It's not nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with safety. And Nana, that's not true at all. The suit just has to be able to afford hidden pads on it somehow.
well these days you should be able to CGI it out anyway.
You can, and in like you also don't even have to actually hit somebody anymore. Holy shit, it's sheets. I hope you are
Or
doing
you could, or considering most of these stunts are actually done in front of a green screen, just do all the pads in green.
that does not work that way. But yeah, it would just be invisible
Oh,
if they
okay.
did it. Their arm would be invisible. But the thing is um you can still put points on it and you can CG it to something else. So a lot of the hits now in a lot of like Hong Kong, they're still actually punching each other in the face like full speed. But if they just took one extra step like they did with the new Roadhouse, where they just do two cuts. They do a cut of somebody punching a bag full speed, and then they do another person flinching at the same time, and then they can add the two together. Exactly, JPass. Like they don't there's no
Yeah.
need to be putting people in mortal danger for these stunts anymore. And the insurance, like the sheet said, the insurance
Excuse me.
payouts don't even pay you out enough. It's a risk with like no reward. And they'll just find another person.
Well, like JPS says, it'll all be AI anyway soon, so doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, that's how we started the
They'll just bring
episode.
back
There is,
they'll just bring back people who've passed away. I mean, they did that in
they've been
Star
doing
Wars,
it.
didn't they?
They did it in Star Wars. I think someone was saying they did that with Val Kilmer. Yeah, they've done that with
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's no different to what is it? All the bands that have been selling their entire back catalogs for like $300 million plus. I think Fleetwood Mac did it. I think there's been a few bands that have done it now, where they just sell their entire back catalogue to somebody. So what's the difference
What's
between a band doing it with their back catalogue and say an artist like Tom Cruise? I mean, just sell his image and his voice
oh
for, I
well,
don't
I mean
know, half a
that's what they're
million,
doing with Tom Clancy.
half $1 billion.
They keep throwing
Yeah,
Tom Clancy's fucking name on everything. Here's a question. Let's
which
pretend.
I just don't buy them.
No, I know you don't buy them, but that's not the point. So let's imagine for a second that you were one of the Beatles. You're Griffin Harrison, the secret fifth Beatle, and you're trying to fight off that screeching owl chasing you around. What happens if you have enough of the rights to go to AI and then just start recreating John, Ringo, George, and whoever the fuck the other one's name was? Like, do you think everyone would embrace you making like brand new Beatles songs, but with all of them being AI? If you're like you're in the
Hell
fucking
no.
nursing home sitting there on your AI and making new Beatles songs. I mean, the boomers aren't going to know. They'll be like, I guess
But
this was another Beatles
well,
song.
so this is the big thing. Like, at what point do kids even know who the Beatles were?
No, and nobody should care
Or
except for the fact
at
they keep playing their music in movies. And they're like, who is this dog shit? Fuck, I want to hold your hand. Shut the
Yeah, but
fuck up.
I remember just quickly seeing a snippet of an interview where
Mhm.
these guys, I suppose they were in their late 30s, early 40s, and they were interviewing a bunch of kids. And
Mhm.
and I think I brought this up before, but the topic of Looney Tunes came up, and they
Oh,
said, what
I'm
Looney
not done
Tune,
with
what
you.
Looney Tune did you like, or do you watch? And the kids are going, what's a Looney Tune? And he goes, like cartoons, like
I know,
Sylvester and Tweety Bird and stuff like that. And the kids are just looking at him like he's come from another planet.
I know, but you know
They
that
had
Looney
no idea
Tunes.
what he was talking about.
I know, but you know Looney Tunes is actually like a fucking 100 years old, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm just checking because the last time we talked about this, and I said Looney Tunes was originally for adults. It was played
yeah,
in movie theaters, which adult. Okay, I just wasn't sure if we were still on the same page about that. So I can't remember if
yeah.
it was.
But what I'm saying is, like, is it going
Yeah,
to take 100 years before the Beatles are completely forgotten? Is it
I
going
hope
to
it's not
take
that long.
a
I
hundred?
hope it's not that long. They
No,
need to
but
be
you know where I'm
forgotten
going with
soon.
this.
I
Like,
know. Well,
because
it's
I
going
mean,
to be
it's a
an
bit like that
amalgamation
movie that
of
was
shit.
made. Yeah, like all the shit that we remember is going to be forgotten in how many years?
Probably about two
Yeah,
at this rate. I think it's going to rapidly increase. I think the level of people forgetting shit is going to rapidly increase. And so if it takes 100 years for Looney Tunes, it's going to take 50 years for okay, like let's just take SpongeBob, which I hate with a passion, or fucking Minions.
oh, did I?
Like any one of these, like, do you think that all these stupid little fucking moron kids that are growing up on this shit, do you think they're just do you think they're also going to be showing their kids nothing but like Minions and SpongeBob? Because it's already like the millennials and Gen Zers that were growing up on it. So they're showing their kids now. Do you think those kids are just going to grow
Yeah,
up and
each generation tries to relive their childhood by forcing it onto their kids.
so you think that it's going to be endless generations of SpongeBob and Minions. I'm
No,
not
because
being
the
a
kids
dick.
will get fed up with it.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Yeah, yeah. I think they'll just get fed up with it.
Okay. And Laura, I think Barney
Yeah.
is different. I know a lot of people hate Barney and Pulp. They hated Barney then too,
Oh,
but I think Barney's different because
Peppa Pig. I
yeah, I don't
mean,
know. But I
it just
think the
goes it
difference
just
is
goes on and on and on.
I think Minions and SpongeBob are like autistic screeching, whereas like Barney and no, I mean literally, or Tommy the Train. Like there's a difference between Barney and like Thomas the Choo Choo. Like they talk slow. So a kid listening to those
Oh,
over and over and over again is going to be able to pick up the words. They're going to start
wasn't
being able to
Thomas the
talk.
Train didn't one of the trains in Thomas the Train was actually voiced by Ringo from the Beatles.
Oh, fuck off. So, um,
I'm serious.
I know. I know. I can't believe you guys brought that around full circle so fast. But still, like, if you think about it, like the guy, you know how like they talked really slow and rhythmic,
Yeah,
and like I think that's what
yeah.
kids need. And so Barney and like Thomas, like oh, and like Mr. Rogers, like if they found a way to put Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood on some kind of medium that would never go away, it would probably be timeless because the way he talked, like I think that resonates with kids that are in developmental stages because it's slow, rhythmic, calm talking with a cadence. I
I
mean,
think
Barney
what they
laughed
need
a
to do is
lot.
get back to better education
Yeah.
as,
Or like
for
Blue's
kids.
Clues, like for example.
Stuff
Things
that's actually educational as
yeah,
opposed to ramming something down a 5-year-old's throat without them even knowing about it.
yeah, exactly. Like like how much education do you think a kid gets from an hour and a half of screeching, which is Minions? Like, fuck off.
Ask the parents about half an hour after the show's finished,
The
and they're not
kids
allowed to have a
screeching.
chocolate before they go to sleep.
I know. I know. That's why if you really hate somebody, you give their kid for their birthday just like the noisiest thing you can. Oh, Coco
Oh, what
Melon.
was it?
I know
Tickle
what
Me
that is,
Elmo?
but
I
I've never
mean,
seen it.
what was it? Tickle Me Elmo? Every kid wanted to tickle me Elmo. It's
Oh,
like,
that's
seriously?
terrible.
And the kid, it's like, Jesus,
Nobody
man.
thought like this is super inappropriate.
Oh, look, it's funny to start with, but after about 10 hours of this thing screeching, it's like, do you really think it was a great toy now? you know, it's like, oh my God, I'm pretty sure parents just buy other kids stuff because, it's just funny to annoy
Yeah.
other parents, I think
I mean, the thing
it's
is
like, oh
though, is
my
like
God.
here's maybe and yeah, here's the thing though. Like, okay, like if I was gonna have a kid and if like, okay, so what cartoons is your kid gonna watch? Like if you have to choose, like, well, I mean, my kid's gonna be watching Ninja Turtles and Transformers. I don't know
Certainly
what the fuck
nothing
to
you
tell
ever
you.
watched when you were kids.
Yeah, I know it's gonna
There
be
was
like,
nothing wrong with you leave Transformers alone. Transformers was bloody awesome.
no, that's what I'm well, yeah. So but my point here is they go, well, those were just half an hour toy advertisements. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
so guess what I
of
have
course
in
it
my
was.
garage? The toy.
Oh, I've
You
got an
know,
Optimus Prime bloody Lego thing standing in my lounge room.
yeah.
So
I've
yeah,
got two
I've got
totes full of
got.
Transformers and Ninja Turtles. So like you know,
Oh,
what do you
it was
do when your
awesome.
kid exactly, Nana? What are you gonna do when your kid wants like, are you gonna buy him another SpongeBob toy that's just going into the fucking landfill? Like, how are you gonna buy him another Minion that's just gonna go into the landfill? Because like what, you think they're gonna be putting that Minion on their fucking backpack? You think that Minion's gonna hold it? But like, but my
Well, I
point
must
was,
admit,
is like
we had Smurfs.
Rescue Rangers. I know Smurfs is very
We had,
problematic, which I think we've talked about.
yeah. Well,
Hanna-Barbera is, oh, I wish my friend was here. He loved talking about Hanna-Barbera. Hanna-Barbera was kind of the odd duck. My point with Ninja Turtles and Transformers and stuff is they were they were half-hour toy commercials, but what they made them do in the 80s is, to get away with it, they had to sign a thing saying every single one had some kind of positive message in it. And I don't know if Thundercats, maybe they did, but like the Ninja Turtles would be like, "Oh, I'm sure glad that we were able to surf in this nice clean sewer because everyone takes care of the planet." Oh, and then that was like their positive message. And so like the Transformers are destroying the planet, but at least the oil thing's not leaking. Whereas, like, do you think I don't know. I
oh,
think that's how we grew up, and that's why we are the way we are. And well, Thomas the Train, dude,
oh,
Thomas the Train has some of the most basket case, like batshit insane. Like, didn't they have a train that was just like locked up and couldn't get out and just slowly devolved into insanity? I mean, Thomas was like one of the darkest shows I've
yeah, it
ever
was
seen.
always miserable.
Yeah, they were like
Oh,
tortured
Thomas the
souls,
Train was,
like suicidal tortured
yeah.
trains. Space Ghost was
Bob
awesome.
the
Hanna-Barbera,
Builder. Oh my God, I get called Bob the Builder all the bloody time.
that's funny.
Jeepers.
But
And what
like,
was
I
the other
mean,
one?
I miss
The
Scooby-Doo.
Minionettes. The puppets.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Rescue
Well, I
1,
mean,
Rescue 2. Who were
oh,
they?
oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the dolls. Team America World Police dolls.
no, no, no. Before Team America. God,
No, I
yeah.
know.
Team
They were
America
all the
was like the,
No, I know, I know.
yeah.
I didn't like those shows. I thought those things were creepy. In the older
They were
shows.
creepy. Yeah.
Very creepy.
But, it's,
Yeah, sheets.
I don't know. All these shows I think will be long forgotten in probably, yeah, as soon as we're gone, I don't think they'll be around. Which is what comes back to this idea that Tom Cruise could basically set his, I don't know whether he's got kids or whether he's still married, I don't know. But he could set up like the
Scientologists
next
allowed
50
to have?
generations.
I think if you're a Scientologist, you've got to like donate your kids back to the fucking mothership or something.
Yeah, we'll talk to Nicole Kidman about that, but I'm pretty sure Nicole Kidman
Oh,
couldn't have kids anyway. She
uh,
she never had kids. But I could,
wow.
yeah, that's
That's another.
that's
That's
an
for another night.
offline conversation I would need to have.
Oh, okay.
Boy, have I got stories about her.
Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Wishton says Power
um,
Rangers. I don't think the Power Rangers are gonna. I think the Power Rangers will be forgotten, but I think there's always going to be, as long as
I think one of them's
Japan.
in jail.
Well, several of them have already
One of
passed
them's
away.
in jail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think as long as Japan
Um,
exists, there's going to be some kind of giant robot something. So
oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah.
Japan just likes their giant robots. So
They write
until
they write
Japan
like
actually makes real
600
giant,
page comic books.
yeah. I mean, they had a life-sized Gundam there for a while. I think they finally took it down.
Yep. Yeah.
That would have been
And
sweet.
now what is it? Disney World's got Transformers, except Optimus Prime's the same height as Bumblebee, which makes no sense at all to me, but okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
Megatron is basically the same height as everyone. It's like, come on, guys, get the scale right. Seriously.
I have a feeling things are going to live longer in Japan than America. So, like, I think, like, I found this. There was like a
China,
themed.
because Godzilla.
Yeah, that would be,
How
yeah,
long's
like
Godzilla been around for?
50s. Also the 50s.
Yeah.
or 40s,
40s,
30s, something.
maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, the
Yeah.
first one, like, when did God first? Yeah,
Oh, the first one was just a plastic bath toy.
54. Yeah, 54.
That's actually later than I thought.
Yeah, well, I think they had to scrape themselves back together after we leveled their country. I don't think they could have made it any sooner, or it would have just been a documentary. Um,
Yeah, pretty
wah
much.
wah. Um, I think Japan is going to keep that shit alive a lot longer because their culture's just different. I had a larger point I wanted to
Well, they
make,
were
but
into
you guys
some.
completely threw me off.
Oh,
They
sorry.
redo a lot of our shit over there. No, not you, the chat. They redo a lot of our shit over there. So, like, talking about comics, like, you know, they're going to have Ninja Turtle comics, they're going to have Pokemon comics, mangas, right? Um, their culture over there is at a different speed. I mean, but you're right. Like, over here, I think everybody is so ADD that they might try to bring Knight Rider back another time or two, but eventually, you know, all
They
that
should.
stuff's going to get. But like, think about it. You keep bringing up Tom Cruise, but like, sooner or later, do you, you know,
Uh,
he's the face of the Mission
whether
Impossible
it's.
franchise, but James Bond was what you like. Sooner or later, they're going to have to just pick somebody and just AI them, you know, forever for James Bond.
But see, I mean, whether it's Tom Cruise or whether it's, I don't know, anyone else that's stupidly famous, I think there will come a time where they will start selling their image, their their voice, and everything else, no different to what the rock and roll bands have done with their back catalogs.
Well, I
I
think
think they'll do it.
here's
I
what
can
I'm
see it coming.
here's what I'm trying to say. I th- I think, among other things, there aren't going to be movie stars anymore. There just aren't any new ones, right? There's no new Rock. There's no new Vin Diesel. You know, they this is
No,
it.
because
So I think
people don't buy it.
right. So I think everyone after this is actually just going to be CGI. Period. There'll be a, you know, CGI Rock, like even the Rock himself in the Moana live action remake where he's playing himself. He's still like a big kind of CG padded up stupid. I've only seen some screenshots, but I think Hollywood
Yeah,
is not going to have exactly JPass. Like, I think this is the end.
I can't I I can't see Hollywood lasting much longer. They they
Yeah,
can't. I mean, it's the whole movie idea of something new, something that we haven't seen before, is gone.
they're all
All they're
remakes.
doing is remaking stuff. Yeah, there's nothing actually that's new, like not a thing. And
Yeah,
I think
in
it's even
fact,
the same in India.
Bollywood. Well, I
Like the
think
whole
Bollywood.
Bollywood thing is basically just the same movie, basically produced over and over and over again.
Well, and the rest of the
Um,
world's getting sick and tired of their fucking culture too. So they're not going
yeah,
to be able to break out anymore because everyone's realized they're a big country of scammers and shit
yeah.
eating, piss drinking, fucking zero IQ. Anyway,
But see, even
H1B.
at one stage, like Germany, Russia, even some of their films are actually pretty damn good. I mean,
I
okay, you had
love
to read the
Russia's.
subtitles, but they
Russia's
were great
CG
movies.
is so good too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and they had some original ideas, but even they've stopped.
Yeah, they're a
I,
little
I, I
old.
don't know where we're going, but I don't know where we're going with movies. Like it just seems to
I have an
like
answer for you.
use.
You're in luck.
Yeah, go on,
You're in luck. I have an
go on.
answer for you. Most of the movies that have been successful this year have all been movies that YouTubers have made. Did you know that?
Yeah,
Did you hear about that?
no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, some of the top 3 movies are like movies that YouTubers made, or they're from video games made popular from YouTube and Twitch content. So we recently
Wow. Well,
watched
there you go.
Iron Lung, which was a kind of a sci-fi movie from a pretty big YouTuber. Like it's not, it wasn't. There's no Hollywood people in it at all. It's just one YouTuber and like a couple of supporting staff, and the rest of it just takes place in a submarine. And it was fucking great. I was locked into it the whole time, and I think that's what's going to happen. I think it's slowly. I think Hollywood shit the bed back when it tried to say that AI was going to wipe it out, and basically everybody said good. It's the same thing when the
Oh, I
writers go
think
on strike all the
they
time.
also, but they also got pinged because of the whole Epstein thing, and
Yeah.
it's just been one sort of wallop after the other, and it's like, and they were pretty much on their way down before all this started
Yeah.
anyway. So, and now it's like you're coming out with movies that everyone is just bashing before it's even hit the screen,
Oh, the
just
new
off the
the
previews.
Supergirl.
The
Yeah.
Supergirl one apparently has just been dumped on something fiercely. Um, Apparently they're going to be redoing Homer's Odyssey. Um, but who was the most beautiful girl in the world?
Oh,
Apparently
a
they've
trans
made her
was it a
black,
trans guy?
and she's not even attractive.
Oh, you're
Um,
talking about the
so,
Wakanda gal. Well, they also have a trans guy
no, no,
playing
no.
so
What is it? I think they call it Homer's Odyssey.
yeah. No, I know what you're talking
It's
about.
Yeah. Apparently they're redoing it.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I think it's
apparently
already out. I think it's already out.
yeah. Um, oh God, I can't think of it.
It's
Can't think of what
it's
it was originally called.
it's like Titanic with horror. Lots of horror. I can't spell. Yeah, it's I think it's out. It's either out or it's going to be out any day now.
Yeah. God, that's annoying. I can't think of what it's called.
2020. Oh gosh, 3 hours long too. What the fuck?
I know. You probably got to go to
Oh,
bed soon.
I mean,
You
whatever.
still sound so awake.
Yeah,
This is what happens when we start talking.
No, I'm on an upswing right now. I have like upswings and downs. I have like times where like I can't even stay awake, and then I have other times where I'm just like go go go. Like when I've got like so much shit to do, it just fucking energizes me. Um yeah, a film by Christopher Nolan, The Odyssey, 7/17, so it comes out in 10 days.
Yeah, but
With
what
a
was the movie
Zen.
that Brad Pitt did
Oh,
before
yeah,
that? That
not Spartacus. It's uh oh no, Brad Pitt. Whoops, hold on. Um that's from a South Park episode. Hold on, I'll tell you. Bibbidi bobbidi boo.
I can't find. I'm
Oh,
even going
find
through
it.
his
Hold on a
filmography and
minute.
I can't find it.
I'm in his filmography and I
Bloody
can't
there
even
somewhere.
find it. Um Fucking hell. No, 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 no. There's another fucking movie called that. I think they got to stop calling their movies the same damn things. That's another problem.
I know, right?
Fucking A. Troy. I can't find it yet, but you're talking about
Troy.
Troy.
Troy. Yes,
You're right. I
Troy.
can't find it
Yes.
either.
So No.
Oh, because you're probably looking at actor. I mean, you're probably looking at, I'm sorry, producer. He's
I was
produced a bunch of movies.
I was looking at what is it? Wikipedia or whatever it is. And it's
Okay.
not even in there.
Although he was in Babylon.
But yeah,
Was he
Helen of
in Troy and Babylon? Motherfucker.
well, see, Helen of Troy was considered the most beautiful woman in the world, and men actually went to war over her.
I
Right?
know.
So she's meant to be the most stunning thing.
Not Wakanda?
And no, Troy.
No. No, I'm making a joke. The gal that plays her is from
Ah,
the
yes,
Black
yes,
Panther movie
yes.
from Wakanda. I'm making a really complicated
Yeah.
joke. I apologize.
And apparently even Brad Pitt's character from Troy, like he's meant to be like this 7-foot warrior giant that, can do miracles on a battlefield. And apparently the guy that's playing him is some skinny dude that
It's a
looks like he would
trans.
blow over in a puff of wind.
I was trying to tell you this
Oh, is
earlier.
he?
Yes.
Oh,
That's what I was trying to tell you earlier,
yeah.
but you didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. Yeah.
And
Yep.
it's like, how can you screw up a movie so much?
Hollywood,
Like
baby.
before you've even, yeah, but before you've even released it, it's a failure. I mean, I
They
can
do
tell you that right now. Most people can.
there is a speculation. There's a theory that they tank these movies on purpose so they can just all be tax write-offs.
But against what?
I don't fucking know because they don't know what they're doing and they don't know
Because they're
what
not making money out of anything. Like, if I get a tax write-off if you're going to make like 10 successful movies and each one's going to make like $300 million more than what it was meant to have. And then you make a couple that absolutely tank. But they haven't actually made anything that's made that sort of money.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Croc, is this
you can't
true?
even call it a tax write-off.
Top 10 grossing movies for 2026. Pegasus, what the fuck? Avengers Doomsday. That's not even out yet. These movies aren't even out yet. Go fuck
Yeah.
yourself. Iron Lung, okay. Oh, did the Avatar
I mean,
technically come
okay.
out this year? I guess it did, yeah. Oh, the
Well,
Michael Jackson biopic. Oh my, yeah. It's like this is what you're up against, right? Like, and then another
yeah.
Mario movie and another Sonic movie. Yeah. Oh, another Toy Story movie. Oh, and the Mandalorian and the Grogu movie. An animated movie about gophers. Oh, but yeah, but you also have
Because
Backrooms and Obsession. Oh, Pegasus. Oh, that's a car movie? Okay. Devil Wears Prada 2, because I guess the first one wasn't enough. Oh, and Project Hail Mary, where
I
Ryan
mean, okay.
Gosling goes up with the.
Yeah, he talks to a rock for 3/4 of the movie. Yeah.
He
Seen
does.
that in shorts. Don't need to go and see it at the movie.
It wasn't bad, but I like sci-fi. So
Yeah. I want to get it on DVD. I got to be honest. I wouldn't mind seeing it.
it looks cool. I mean, like
And I think it's
their special effects department is a S tier for sure. The special effects are
Disclosure
great.
Day.
I haven't seen it yet, but looked boring. But that's fine. I'll watch it eventually.
I was saying to Kendall the other day. I said, for me, I've got to drive like 2 hours, 2.5 hours to get to a movie theater. So that's 5 hours,
Fuck.
right? And
Yeah.
then basically you got to pay for the movie, but of course you don't just watch a movie. You got to get the popcorn and the drink.
Yeah.
And by the time the movie's finished, depending on what time it screens, you may as well stay in Adelaide. So, a movie ticket could cost me anything upwards of $300 overall. Is it worth going and seeing?
Fuck no. I haven't seen a
You
movie
know,
in
that's
theaters.
that's what you start. Well, that's what you
Uh,
start asking yourself.
yeah, the answer is no. Not only no, but fuck no.
The answer is no. Yeah, hell no.
I didn't realize that the last
So,
James Bond movie, it's already been 5 years.
well, they can't work out who they want to use as James Bond, whether it's going to be a woman.
Hell yeah, it should be in a
And this is
bodysuit
where,
just to piss Nana off.
but this is where they're going. I mean, is it going to be called Jamie Bond?
Hell yeah, it should.
I don't know.
It should. It should be James Bond and Mrs. Moneypenny's illegitimate daughter, and she just runs around and lasers
It's
people in the eyes with her watch if they piss her off. And she drives around in Aston Martin, but it's got to have a girl AI in it that just quacks like a dog.
no, I think they'd put her in that Jaguar that they ended up basically showing at an auto show, and then they had to actually cancel the whole thing before it actually went into production because it was so badly received.
Oh man, I didn't know about that one.
And apparently they did an ad with it, but it was yeah, nobody with that sort of money actually wanted to buy one after they saw the ad,
Yeah, I think the thing
so
is,
they had
if
to
they
actually destroy the car.
that's sad. I hope they got some money from it from the. I think people would watch a female Jamie Bond movie, but I think it needs to be like if Sean Connery had a daughter, and then it could be like her going back and realizing that Sean Connery actually had like 20 or 30 kids with all like, because you know how many chicks he fucked in those
He
movies?
slept with.
And so,
Yeah.
like, could you imagine it's like all of the other James Bond children are getting murdered and she's like the last one? Like, I think people would see that.
I would
And then
actually see that.
yeah, and then they could bring back, CGI Sean Connery, like, oh, this looks like a load of shit. And then it's actually like, and then Indiana Jones comes in or something and like, holy fuck, you're in the wrong movie. And then like punches a Nazi in the face. And then,
Oh, you
yeah,
mean like Hunt for Red October, where there's a Scottish guy basically in
a
control of
Scottish
a Russian
Russian,
submarine?
a drunk Scotsman took over a Russian sub and starts going to America in the middle of a war game.
Oh yeah,
Understand.
there's a whole story. What was it? The movie he did with Nicolas Cage, breaking into that jail.
The Rock, yeah.
Um,
The
and
Rock was a James Bond
yeah, The
movie.
Rock.
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah, it was a James Bond movie because they've arrested a British spy who was in America doing spy stuff, and they've sent him to the Rock to live out his sentence. But because he escaped, because he kept on escaping all the other jails, they ended up throwing him into yeah, and they reckon it was just a continuation of the whole story.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. That's a great movie too. Um, I've seen that
Yeah,
movie.
oh
So
yeah,
that
it's
was
great.
Michael Bay at his best. Like if
Oh, I
Michael
mean,
Bay made
it was
a James
free
Bond
on
movie.
YouTube, so I had to sit there and watch it. And then, of
Hell
course,
yeah.
YouTube. Once I watched it, everything that YouTube basically threw at me after that was The Rock again. It's like I just
Understandable.
watched the bloody thing. I don't need to watch it 15 times in 2 days.
Yes, you do.
It's like,
So
oh
if you
God,
guys
it's annoying.
donate to my Kickstarter, I'll make the new Jamie Bond movie for you guys. But I'll make it out of AI, and it'll probably only be about 10 minutes long. But I'll uh,
You know
I'll get
what?
that going.
If you
Yeah.
posted that on YouTube, I reckon it'd go viral. I just reckon it would go
Yeah,
viral with
it'd take
that
a lot of
storyline.
it would take a lot of AI credits.
And Arthur
The funny
Broccoli
thing
would be
is I could
rolling
totally.
over in his bloody grave.
The funny thing is
You
I
could
could
even do all
totally
the
do it.
music.
Yeah.
No, no, you could. Yeah.
I mean, if Grok Imagine was working properly, I could probably make that movie in a weekend.
I reckon there's something. You've been looking for something to do, and
Oh yeah, right.
I know you're still working on your book, your winter version,
I'm working on the
but
summer
there's
version. I
something.
haven't started the winter version
Oh,
yet.
the summer version.
You're
Oh,
gonna
I don't
kill
know.
me.
There's bloody 4 seasons in there somewhere.
I know. I know. I didn't think it through very well. Forrest Gump wasn't original. There's a bunch
Well,
of movies about retards. Rain Man was way before Forrest Gump.
but see, Project Hail Mary was based on a book,
True.
from what I've figured out.
They're all based on
And I
books,
think
probably.
a couple of the other ones you mentioned were based on books as well.
And yeah, the rest are based on video games.
And see
Iron Lung and
that's
Backward were
really
both games. Mario's a video game
no
scientist.
different to the bands selling their back catalogue, an author selling their book,
Yeah, I mean
a
Disney's
movie
movies are
star
just
selling
live
their
action remakes of the exact same movies. Some of them aren't even
yeah.
that old. They're just a few years old and they're already making the live action remakes.
Yeah, because they need to make money. They're not making
They
enough, the shareholders are jumping up and down going, "How come you haven't
Disney
made $1
Plus.
billion this year like you did every other year?" It's
Well,
like,
Disney Plus shit the
"Okay,
bed,
we'll
man.
just."
They're not
Yeah,
releasing their own flagship movie on their own flagship streaming service. What the fuck does that tell you?
yeah, but Netflix is pretty much dead. I think all the streaming services are basically suffering.
Right? Nana said,
Like,
"Run, rainwater, run."
run, man, what a run.
They should have though.
Hey,
I'll AI remake that
we've still got Kmart in Australia, JPath, so Kmart still exists here. Run, Forrest,
movie.
run.
Uh, wow. Just gonna call this. We're gonna get deplatformed podcast.
I know, right?
I think we've successfully made fun of every single minority and disability on the planet today.
The stupid thing is, I think we could do it all again tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, easily. I
It's-
mean, this is
it-
what my whole
it-
day's like, except I can't say it.
oh God!
Me and Ringo. It's like these fucking people.
What time is it there anyway?
It's 11:22 p.m.
We've only been going. We've only been going for 2 hours and 52 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad. I know. I don't know how people. Side note. I don't know how people only have hour-long podcasts. That fucking drives me insane. Like, I'm only like warmed up at about like the 20 to
Yeah.
40-minute mark. Like,
Well,
which
see,
is
the
why I
Four
don't.
Horsemen were meant to be on this morning. I don't know how those two go for an hour. I really don't. And they've got call-ins.
Oh,
Like, how does that
that's
work?
morning for you. The funny thing is by the time Four Horsemen's on, some of them have actually already been going on other podcasts for like at least an hour, and they've been working all day. And they're all preppers, and several of them are homesteaders. I mean, they just have way more energy than I do.
Well, they're not young either.
No, none of us are young. We're all like 82 years old. I mean, there's very, unless people were like prior military and like Gulf War II. This is what I was trying to talk about the other day, but it didn't come off right. There isn't very many young people left that are preppers. Like how many below 40 to 45 age YouTuber preppers do you see? The answer is like 0.
I don't know
Right.
how old Survival Lily is.
Well, she's Austrian, so
I'm
she
pretty
could be
sure.
anywhere between 20 and 60.
Yeah. Um, I mean, Nate from Canadian Prepper, he'd be over 40. The roaming prepper, I think he's over 40. Um, I
Yeah,
think
they
most of them
all
are over
are.
40. Yeah. Yeah.
Your kid doesn't count,
Easily.
JPass. Nobody knows who they are.
Oh, bang. Oh, just
Mic drop.
bashed my headphones.
I think that my point
Yeah.
is like it's I can only think of one, which is like half-ass Reddy's kid. But again, I think I think and I think he was in Gulf War 2 or Afghanistan or something. And that's kind of my point. Like if they weren't in the military, there I don't think there's I okay, all of you have 29-year-old kids. I get it. But that I don't think that's helping your argument at all.
Is that kind
Um
of scary? All the kids are 29
yeah,
years
what were
old?
you all doing? Wait a minute. Are you all related?
I'm just saying. Like
Yeah,
JPass James, my kid, 29. Wisdom, my kid, 29.
yeah,
What were you all
that's
doing 29 years and 9 months ago?
yeah. I
What the hell?
feel really left out now. She says I got a family younger than me, prepped as well. I'm not saying they're not preppers. I'm not saying they're not preppers. I'm saying they're not prepper YouTube channels. You guys try to follow along. 97 was a cold winter. Facts.
Clearly.
I was there. Um, yes, I know you all have lots of. I know. My
My kids
point.
are in their
Holy
early
shit, you
30s.
guys! You're getting through your worm brains is fucking impossible sometimes. There's no. There's all the YouTubers that start really, really, really young. Like there's YouTube. There's like prepper YouTubers that tried to start like in their young teens, and they get ran off, and hopefully just nothing horrible happens to them. But I've seen that.
Because they've got
I
really
guess
not a
Melissa
lot to say.
Backwoods. I don't know how old Melissa Backwoods is. Maybe she's a little bit younger ish. Maybe she's in her 30s. Maybe Jacob from like um, Beach and Tactical. Maybe he's no, but he was also in the military. He was in Afghanistan. Yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, maybe Melissa Backwoods, but she was in either Naked and Afraid
Do you
or she
find that,
was in Twice, I think.
yeah, but do you find military background kind of pushes prepping into certain directions, though?
Um,
Like, just because you've had a military background doesn't mean you have the all-rounded view to a certain extent. I don't
no,
know.
but what I have seen,
I think it tends to push you down one way.
I think what I've noticed with all the prepper gun tubers is that all their gear failed. So they learned how to either make or repair all their own gear, and then they come back and either they want to play Call of Duty or they want to tell everybody how to unfuck all of their gear and how to actually train and do shit properly. Like they lean towards gear, guns, and military tactics instead of like
Yeah,
but part of that's because yeah, they didn't have to vacuum seal shit because they had MREs and they fucking ate them, right?
yeah.
So I think it does steer them in a certain but all the bushcraft shit is all still the same, right? All the Siri like the evade,
I,
resist and evade is all the same.
I tend to see a difference between the younger preppers and the older preppers because they know, and especially between the military and not necessarily military guys because they tend to be more well-rounded in terms of their prepping and the advice that they give.
Yeah.
Whereas you kind of get the feeling you're being taken into a military college and
Yeah.
and being regurgitated everything they were taught there,
The doctrine. So we
along
call
with
that military
maybe a
doctrine.
little bit of along
Yeah.
with maybe a little bit of life experience. Whereas when you sort of look at the older preppers, you've still got that, but there's a lot more life experience associated with it, and it just takes whatever you learnt in college, and it expands massively on it. And so you tend to find the older preppers tend to be sort of more popular, and hang around for a lot longer.
I think they have
Maybe,
more to talk about. I think because they have more life experience, they have more to talk about instead of like
yeah.
what I think once they get through their initial videos of this is how you do an L-shaped ambush
Use my
and
bug out bag and blah blah blah. Yeah,
this is how you do react to contact and this is how you like there's only so much of that before it's like okay, well they've oh, take care take care Laura. Quack quack.
have a good night, Laura.
Um I think once they run out of that military doctrine to go over, which is all helpful, and they all teach it a little bit different because each of them maybe they had a different sergeant, major, whatever that
Drill instructor.
taught. Well, the drill instructors don't teach them any of that. Like they have to.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, it's after they're in the field over and over and over, and then practicing the drills over and over. But if they work up to a high enough level to where they're they get up like towards sergeant major, they're like actually teaching people. Then they become the instructor. Then they develop different ways of teaching things. They've heard the way other people train things. They've seen what works and what doesn't work. And because of that, their channels go a little bit further. They don't run out of things to talk about as fast. But yeah, sooner or later, if they don't have something else, it's like, what they turn into is they're like, all right, this is the new optic. Use my discount code. I was like, well, shit. Right. Like, here we go. Whereas, like, I think you watched a lot of Southern Prepper One, right? Like, he was prior military. His son's
Yep.
prior military. He completely, like, turned that whole thing into, like, just a juggernaut. Because a lot of the politics and because, like, the betrayal. He feels the betrayal from the government not representing him and fighting wars and just being abandoned.
I think he's done it right because his videos actually aren't that long.
You know why his videos aren't that long?
Like,
Because
he doesn't do long form videos.
no, but you know why? His phone
No.
would crash. His phone that he was recording it on couldn't save longer than a 20-minute video.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So that was and also he did really well because he had no ads at all and no
Yeah.
sponsorships at all for ages. And if he ever has a sponsorship, the sponsorship is the only part of the video. And he tells people either this thing is junk or it's going to be useful, but only in these situations. And they're very few and far between.
But he also doesn't talk to a script.
There's
like
no
he's
script.
very
Yeah.
No. Whereas you feel like you're getting a script from some people.
Oh, well, now they're AI scripts, so they'll sound the fucking, it's not this, it's this, blah, blah, blah. It's not this, it's this. Shut up.
Welcome to another episode where I'm going to talk and you're going to listen.
I have to start the video with saying something. That's, you know what? That's not even, well, if you listen to my older stuff, that's not even what I used to say. I finally started saying that because I got so sick and tired.
I've been going through your older stuff.
How did I used to start my videos? Because I think about that sometimes. I think I used to say, welcome back to another fantastic of Bunker. Oh, you know what it was? I used to have the song at the beginning. I used to have the bunker song, or I used to have like
well, the top 10s always started with the music at the front. So
yeah,
and that
those
was
started,
the AI basically introducing you.
Yeah, And I used to have an AI voice, like I used to have a boy voice and a girl voice saying, "Welcome to the bunker, access granted." Do you know how much shit I got for that fucking AI voice? I'm like, "You are
Really?
out of here." Yeah, and from people that I consider good. Oh, yeah, James Yeager is, yeah, tactical response. That was, uh that was, like, my first big YouTuber. I will talk about that later, Jada. But yeah, like, people that I used to really trust, people that I used to really like, people whose opinions I really, really, really valued, they were like, "No, that AI voice has to go." I'm like, "Fucking why? It's like 15 seconds, like, I have to have some kinda intro." Like, what is like, this? And then it was like, "You're talking too long. There's too much space in between your words. You need to, like,
Oh,
truncate
for
all the
God's
time."
sakes.
And I'm like, and these are people I really, 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 like, looked up to and valued, and I'm like, finally, I was like, "You know, maybe this just isn't for you." I like people to be able to breathe and digest the words I'm saying, which means I like to pause so people don't have to pause. Like, even when you listen to my books, like, I have a very natural cadence, like, taking deep breaths when you're talking, like, is additional emphasis, like, slowing down your words gives them more time to digest
You know
and,
what
you
I
know,
think it is?
swallow,
I think it's the
right?
fact that no one has actually, none of these people complaining have actually ever made a video on their own
No, a
and
lot of
then
them have.
talked for like 20 or 20 minutes or an hour, you know?
No, some of them are
Like
bigger
it's,
YouTubers than
I
me.
mean, I don't think about,
Not that I'm
well, I don't think too much about like doing the lives, and that some of them have
yeah.
been 2.5 hours, and I stop the live and
Oh,
I'm still okay. And I get off the live, and like 5 minutes later, it's like I'm knackered.
yeah.
I just
I'm not.
I want to go to sleep.
I'm not, but
It's
the reason why I'm
I
not is because I talk for 8 hours a day at work. So, this is nothing.
yeah, I don't talk at all. So
Yes,
I
you do. I hear
don't
you.
know.
"Oh, I'm
Hey?
gonna rotate this room around. Oh, you guys are still watching. What do you cunts want? Oh, I gotta
Well,
charge
only
my
because
phone."
I've hit live on my phone.
Until it dies.
At least you know you're talking to a bloody human. You know, it's not
Oh,
some AI that's staring back at you. You know, it's like it's actually a real person. You know, I'm sorry my hair looks like shit today, but I'm sorry.
yeah.
You know, or you know, I'm surprised no one's come out and said, "Why are you wearing the same jumper like 3 videos in a row?" It's like
You know, I was actually
I don't know.
when someone was giving you shit about the color of your jumper, and I was like, "Dude, I was already so close to saying something." It was so funny that somebody else said it.
Well, funnily
That's like
enough,
the
there was
color
a
of your
guy
jumper.
on Australian breakfast TV that actually wore the same suit every day for like the whole year, and no
Yeah.
one noticed. They were complaining. It wasn't until they were complaining about the girl he hosted the show with that he said, "I don't know why you guys are complaining about her clothes. No one said anything about the fact that I've just worn this suit for 365 days."
Yeah.
Like they were complaining about the female presenter, but not the male.
Yeah, that's one of
So
the I don't know if Nana's still here because I know she'll lose her shit as soon as I say this, but, that's one of the most insane double standards when it comes to, woman news news gals. They have to have insanely massive wardrobes because the second they wear a dress again, and so unless they're
Ringo.
sponsored by, Ringo, unless they're sponsored by, you know, what do you call them? Like a beauty, clothing, but like they I bet you those gals must have wardrobes on top of wardrobes on top of wardrobes. Just so and I bet you they sit there and they just go through them all and they're like, "Well, I haven't worn this one in 182 days. I wonder how many people are gonna fucking bitch." And it's true. And then oh, this dress is just slightly low cut. I wonder how many calls we're gonna get tonight because like
Oh, look, it
people
was
think
like
we live
that.
in
It was
fucking
like that
Islam.
dress that every female news anchor, I swear, around the world started wearing the same type of dress, and it looked like a men's anatomy. I don't know.
Um.
The cut of this dress looked like I'm going to call it a willy,
Oh,
and it's
don't listen. Don't
and at
listen,
one
Ringo.
stage every news anchor woman around the world was wearing the same damn thing. It's like,
Yeah.
seriously? And the comments were just hilarious. It's like, oh my god.
There was one that's like there was one that was like an hourglass design here. It was like a bodysuit, but it had an hourglass. They were all wearing those for like a while. The one that you're talking about, I can't picture it. But I liked the
I'm
hourglass
trying to
bodysuit mini skirt thing. That's what they were all. But now it's like
Yeah, look, I mean, I mean,
woolly.
I don't care what they wear under the desk, but I mean, at the end of the day, as long as I couldn't care less what they're bloody wearing, as long as they're giving me the news. Um, I mean,
Yeah,
but it was funny at one stage, and the fact that
24.
this male male presenter basically, yeah, I'm not going to say a chance.
No, I know you're not. I'm going to see if I can get somebody else to say it
Oh, okay, right,
because
right.
you got Wisgen to say
Um,
Willie, and so
oh, okay,
that
right.
was pretty funny.
No, well, that wasn't my intention, Wisgen. So Jennifer, so all good. Um, I don't even know where I was going with that.
Um, well, every once, yeah, well, they'll tell God, there's those videos where they'll tell a gal to cover up, and like, no, we're all of a sudden we're getting a bunch of calls to cover up, and like, and then someone will literally just that like the gal will be given the weather or whatever, and someone will literally be like, put a jacket. They'll like just walk up and put a jacket over her, like right in the middle. Oh,
Yeah,
see, Nana
that's
knows.
some bloke walking past that actually has
I,
a tad of or a tad of common sense.
I would
Don't be
fucking
standing when it's blowing a gale and pouring down with rain. And okay, yes, you got an umbrella up, but okay,
no. I'm talking
put
about
this on
the weather
because you look
report on
like you're
the
cold.
screen. I'm talking about on the screen, like when
Oh,
they're
in the studio.
in the studio. Yeah, there's like videos, and someone was like, "No, sorry, we're getting calls," and they'll just put a jacket over her. I'm like, dude, I would fucking punch you in the throat. Because here's the thing: by the time they get past the makeup artist and the producer, and like, do you know how many people that gal has to like walk past wearing whatever she's
Yeah,
wearing, and HR, and
because no one
how many
cares.
recruiters, and how many vendors, and how many market people, and then all of a sudden they get one stanky grandma that thinks we live in fucking Islam. All of a sudden, yes, I know J Pass, but that's just part of being in America. Okay, you know that there's some pervert controlling the temperature. You know, like you mean to tell me that they don't know like how transparent or non-transparent their clothes are, like everywhere
There's
else in
enough
the
ad
studio?
breaks that they could fix these issues. So, you know, it's
Yeah,
like,
and so it's like tell people to eat a dick. Go watch some other news. Go watch the Muslim news channel if you want to. What the fuck is wrong? They keep catering to these people, and it's just like, no, let gals what they want wear what they want to wear. It's insane.
well, I mean, I suppose if they're getting, you know, what
Oh,
would their average viewership be these days? Probably a million people.
not on the
I
local
doubt it'd
news.
be more than that.
Not on the local
No,
news.
no,
Probably
local.
at 20 to
No,
30,000.
I'm talking CNN or Fox News or whatever it is at about 6 o'clock at night or whenever
Go.
the main news report comes up. None of us speak
I don't
both.
know. I don't think they did. I know what you're saying though. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're saying.
But you've got out of that million though. I mean, how
Yeah.
many are actually Anglo, like ordinary white
Anglo-Saxons?
people, I suppose, or
Oh.
naturalized US citizens?
I don't know,
And
because the
how
funny
many
thing is,
are,
like, in Europe, it's even more they could be walking around and telling the news in lingerie, and everybody be like, "Well, that's weird. I wonder what the news is. Oh, she's in
well, they
lingerie."
do in Italy, I believe.
I know. They do in
if
some
you
parts
if
of
you know
South
YouTube well
America
enough, you'll
too.
find it soon enough. But yeah, they I mean, okay, well, but that's just a different culture, and they view things differently over there, and that's
Well,
fine.
we have a
I
different culture here.
whatever. Yeah,
They wanna walk around in
but
nursemaid suits. I don't fucking care.
at the end of the day, all you want is the weather or the news,
I
and if
just
they
wanna know how
can't do that,
shitty it's
well,
gonna be outside. Yeah.
I think again, it's one of those things where you know a lot of people are just tuning out because they're just over it. They're just
Oh, totally.
it's these days we get our weather on an app. Why do we need to watch the news for the weather? That could
Well,
change by
it's
the time you wake up the next morning. So,
gonna
you know,
yeah, your kid
just
goes
look at
to
the app.
school and the weather's changed like 3 fucking times by the time they get home. I was
Yeah.
thinking about this, so you'd have to send
Um,
like, I think I would send my kid with, like, at least 2 changes of clothes. I'm like, "Alright, it's gonna be about 90 today, and then there's gonna be about gale force winds, so here's 3 changes of clothes."
if you did that, the kid would be beaten up. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, there'd be a pair of brass knuckles in there too. Like, "Here you go."
It's the same with the news, though. I mean, we all walk around with a bloody phone these days, and I don't care who you are. At the end of the day, whether it's a Apple or a Samsung or a Google or whatever phone you've got, it doesn't take more than 5 seconds before you've got up-to-date news reports coming through, and I turn notifications off on everything. I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
want to
me
be
too.
bloody notified every time someone sneezes. Um, so, but I mean, if you want to know the news, take 5 minutes. You look at the news and you turn the phone off, and you're more up to date than the channel, whatever you're going to watch at 6 o'clock tonight's news is.
Yeah, but that's fine
The
unless you're
only
out
the
all
only
day.
reason I well, the
Yeah.
only reason I sort of tend to watch the news these days is because I watch it for the local stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I know more about what's happening in Bahrain today than what I know is happening 5 minutes down my street.
Well, yeah,
That's
so
the
how
sad
I
part about
totally. So what I do, like, I don't know if you can do that where you're at. Well, yeah, I hear you, JPass. I've seen I too
Yeah,
have seen those weather forecasts. What I do here is I have the local news on all the YouTubes, and so all I gotta do is
yep.
scroll down my subscription feed and go, "Okay, there's a deal on a transmission line, that's good. Oh, dead person, dead person, dead person, exploded from fireworks, dead person, rate increase on power, dead person, explosion, explosion, sports, sports, dead person, dead. Oh, animal cruelty ballot." And so, like, I can scroll through the news and I can see like 5 hours of news on the thumbnails in like 2 seconds, is my point. Like,
Yeah.
and it's all terrible. It's like, oh, well, guess what? I'm not going into the city again.
No.
Um,
But
I don't know.
you
So I
don't
don't know
have
if you
to
can do
you
that
don't have to
there,
turn the
but
news on at 6 o'clock to watch the news
yeah. And if I wait
because
long
you
enough,
already
they're
know
going to
more than what they're
repost.
going to tell you.
Well, oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's exactly it. And I don't have to wait for the 10 o'clock news and metric shit tons of ads because whoever's in charge of their station immediately puts up the 15 to 30-second blurb on YouTube. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
E-sheets,
No.
it is not terrible because that's all they want me to see. They the cities do not want people to see that stuff because it is all illegals They do not want people to see that stuff. It's buried on YouTube because it's a 15-second blurb on a news channel, and that's it. And then the rest of it is distractions. They don't want people to see that stuff.
Mm.
If they had a way, to not share that stuff at all, if people weren't getting wholesale fucking massacred in the city every single night, they wouldn't show it at all. That's what they did with the riots. They went year. In fact, there was more riots again the other night. They didn't show it at all because they don't. They want to keep the facade up that everything's fine. But here's the problem: it is widely known and accepted now that 911 is a hold signal, and ambulance is at a zero because there's fentanyl overdoses on every single corner for miles in every direction. They don't want people to know that. Most of the news is of the skyline and the farmers market and people jogging in the morning. So the news is like
Oh, yeah, and
1%
there's always going to be
of it. Yeah, they
and
don't
there's
want
always going
people
to be the good story. You know, someone saved a dog today.
Yeah, and it's the feel good story and all thinly veiled advertisements because the city is being abandoned. The real news is that there's 2 or 3 businesses leaving the city every week. Buildings are condemned, vacant. The leases are failing. People aren't even paying off the leases to even start working on the buildings. Like Seattle and Portland are both in
Well, they
fall.
well they predicted that even while COVID was still on,
Oh yeah,
because
absolutely.
with commercial buildings, what was the point of actually having a 30-year lease on a $60 million building if everyone was working at home? And
Well,
so
they
they
tried
tried
to.
to force everyone to come back. They tried to
Yes.
force everyone to come back to offices because at the end of the day, the real estate market was collapsing.
Yeah, which are all the medium banks.
And they were,
Yeah.
yeah. And all the banks who were holding finance over these things suddenly realised these $150 million buildings were worth maybe $20 million because nobody actually needed them anymore
And the
because
homeless had
everyone was
been
working from
destroying them
home.
because the homeless had broken in and were
Yeah.
destroying those buildings one after another. So they're worth like 20 to 30%, if that. And all the buildings that were in the middle of being built all got uh, not foreclosed on, defaulted. Like they defaulted because the
Yeah.
building materials went up higher than the value of the building. Yeah, Nana, it's it's so bad in the cities. It's ridiculous. And the small businesses, medium, large, and I think the big banks let the medium banks eat all that bad debt on purpose, so the big banks could absorb the small banks. I'm just surprised more banks haven't crashed this year yet.
I'm actually surprised as well, and I think a lot of other people are, because honestly, I don't think it's gotten any better. I mean,
Oh no,
okay,
it's
they
not
did
all.
try and force people back into work, but
It
I
didn't
don't know
work.
that actually, no, because people said why. They
Well,
were
a lot
too
of
used
people
to
had
working
already
from home.
moved. Well, it's not even that. A lot of people like flat out moved during the Rona. Like
Yeah.
they're not coming back. If they
Oh,
moved
yeah.
halfway across the country, they're not coming back. Or they moved back in with their
No,
parents and they're just completely out of the job market.
you know, and now AI's come into it, and it's like, well, you guys are laying off a shitload of people anyway, so don't complain to me about your empty building.
No, yeah, and the thing
You know,
is like, do you know, this has been my speculation for a long time. If you go back to listen to some of my old videos, um, you know, people wonder like, oh, well, who are they going to fill those buildings with? And the answer is H-1Bs, because those are the only people that they could actually force to come into the building. Because if they don't come into the building, they get deported, and
yeah.
their visas get declined or whatever it's called, and they have to send their 80 fucking family members back to India or Pakistan, whatever shithole they came from. So like their incentive, whichever one of them is the anchor visa. So yeah, they can make the H-1Bs come in because the H-1Bs have no leverage. And that's if they really had to, that's who they would fill the offices with, is H-1Bs, illegals,
Well, it
whatever.
makes you wonder whether they're not filling them up during the World Cup. I mean, where did all the homeless people go? How come they can all of a sudden empty? It's like when
they move
Xi Jinping came to America, you know, and all of a sudden the homeless people disappeared. They just
J-Pass
vanished.
knows all about that.
Where did they go?
I think J-Pass helped hide them under the bridge when the lizard man brought his lizard buddy. Well, where does China hide them? Oh, just kidding. They just turn them into organs.
China doesn't have homeless people. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes. Do you mean the people in the work camps? They're not homeless.
No.
Yeah, I saw
They're
that.
just visiting a friend.
I think. Dear. Yeah, well, how's the British here when they can't?
The British will be coming.
When we say they can't stay in our houses, we'll go make them stay in the cities. Mine shafts? Hell yeah, that's awesome. That sounds like a great horror movie. Or in the sewers. Go shove them down in the sewers.
Oh.
Yeah, the feds are going to have to do a couple of things. Which one?
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say the feds are going to have to crack down on all their food cards and shit too. Like, if they couldn't get rid of them being anchor babies, so they're going to probably go after their food cards, and yeah, their HUD funding next. HUD funding is how they pay for their houses, their house subsidies. So the states are going to have to fund their housing, and the states are going to have to fund their food, which is going to jack our taxes through the roof. It's going to be
HUD stands for heads up display, doesn't it?
The so housing, housing and urban development. Yeah, it's a federal.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
One of the 3-letter agencies.
Oh, okay. But anyway, I think I'd probably better mosey off. Otherwise, you're just not going to finish and not going to go to sleep.
Quiet.
So.
Yeah, no problem. This is a good. Yeah, we'll talk about Sir Nigel tomorrow. Maybe Sir Nigel is going to go meet with Paul Pelosi.
Yeah, have a look at what is it? Neil McCoy Ward. Have a look at his video this morning.
Oh yeah, you'll have to.
He was going to talk about Nigel Farage and oh shit. I don't think I've.
Yeah, what's her face? Marie Le Pen. She still. I guess she still has like an ankle monitor from them trying to arrest her from the last time.
Oh, that means I got bloody do. Yeah, no, that's too hard. I would, but I can't join the chat at the moment. So yeah.
That's okay. My chat's overrated. I'm kidding. You guys are awesome. Seraph says half the government housing always claims there's a year waiting list. Yeah. Yep, that's one of their biggest scam. And then the funny thing, Seraphim, in Portland, they say that too. But then you ask the people inside, and they're like, "No, there's tons of empty units in here."
Well, see, the state government in South Australia is building houses and apartments and friggin' God knows what else at like 1,000 miles an hour here, all for public housing.
Yeah, because the Chinese are going to kick you all out.
Well, they're already throwing nuclear weapons over the South China Sea, so maybe it's only about time. I don't know.
Well, I think, yeah. All joking aside, and I guess this is where we can pick it up tomorrow. But I think there's going to be Chinese refugees. If shit really pops off, there's going to be Chinese refugees everywhere. They want to get out of that country so bad.
Really?
Yeah, they can't leave. The only way they can get out of China is if they go to Hong Kong, and they have to go through like some kind of a background check system to make sure they have enough family, like they're like North Korea, to make sure they have enough anchor
Well,
family left.
do we know whether those Chinese police stations still exist?
Oh, they do. Oh, they do. Not so much in America anymore, but they're still in Canada for sure. There's probably still some here too. Yeah, that was a 100% real thing.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
they would deport them.
Yeah.
They would deport their own people back. Talk about backwards. What country besides China goes and deports their own fucking people back to their own country? Who does that? That's hard. Who isn't that racist or something? Like, what are you doing? We said that person could be here. No, they're fleeing asylum. No, okay, I guess. Well, good luck on your apology tour. Jeez. Thanks for visiting, I guess. My goodness.
Oh dear.
That was worse than those Somali
I'm
daycares.
losing. Yeah, where's the Somali police stations?
They're right next to the Somali
I
daycare.
guess no one's actually asked that question yet.
I'm sure they're right next to the Haitian daycares and the Haitian police stations. My goodness.
You can imagine,
So weird.
just coming down a street in about 5 years' time, and there's all these police stations. One's from different countries.
Yeah,
Oh
you
no,
call
we're completely
911 and
legal.
it's
We're
like
okay.
for Spanish, press 1, for Haitian, press 2, for Somali, press 3. For Chinese, just hang yourself. Call the organ donor.
Oh well, at one stage, Russia were actually paying people to actually come and live there. Like,
I
if you
know a
wanted
lot
to
of people.
emigrate to Russia, they'd give you like $200,000 or something like that. It's like, what? And everyone's
Yeah,
going, yeah, that's a great idea. We should do that.
there was some strings
It's like,
attached, but I do know some people who did that.
oh yeah, yeah. It was because
I'm
I
sure they
actually had someone ask me, what do you think? And I said, uh, yeah, I'd give it a second thought.
It'd be different if they had Second
Because they were
Amendment,
like,
but they don't.
oh,
Right?
look, I mean, no country's got a constitution like the United States. It's as simple as that. So,
Yeah, that's my.
just make sure you're not, free speech. No, that doesn't exist.
They can just
Yeah,
conscript everybody regardless of
Are
your
you
age.
gay or lesbian? No. Okay, well, I wouldn't go then. So,
Yeah, well, they can
yeah, well,
conscript
that's the other
everybody.
thing. First
So
in,
yeah, like
it's like
two-thirds of their
job,
military doesn't survive
first
first contact or something. It's insane.
last in, first out. That's the way employment goes.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
last in. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way it normally works, isn't it? So,
I think I would, if I ever, yeah,
but
I'd have
anyway,
to start my own army or my own military if I went there. My own breakaway USSR country. Call it Poland
we'd have to
2.
get in with the Russian mafia or something.
Call it Poland 2.
Just,
Cossacks 2.
just
Yeah.
offer the local mayor a truckload of vodka and form a bunker or something like that, and hey presto, you'd be fine.
Yeah, these RPGs fill off a truck.
That's
I
how you
don't know
get your.
what to tell you.
Well, that's how it used to work over there, isn't it?
Oh,
It was
totally.
all
Yeah, well, that's
basically
how it still works.
bribery.
That's how it still works. Like
Yeah.
a third of every shipment of everything over there just fucking disappears.
Yeah.
Like most of the
So-
military hardware never makes it Nobody knows where it's going. Like it just disappears. Okay,
Right.
well,
Well, they were trying to. Oh, I think during the Cold War they were trying to fill up their bloody MiGs with vodka
hell yeah,
because
that's what I would
they
do.
didn't actually have the aviation fuel.
Oh, there you go.
So because somebody at some point had sold it off for something else. So their entire alert force is basically running on vodka. That was
Exactly.
pretty much the only currency that anyone actually understood.
I mean,
So
yeah.
providing, providing you've got a couple of semi trailers, maybe a couple of B doubles, and full of the best vodka Russia's got to offer, and hey presto, there's a missile silo. Don't worry about the nuclear missile in there. You bought that, so it's yours.
Yeah.
It's like,
There's
oh,
no
okay,
food in it,
no
so
worries.
yeah.
Yeah, still got to buy food. Yeah,
You're still
yeah.
there's
Still
a
got to
bear in.
stock it up.
There's a bear in.
Well, shit, now it's like a play school. There's a bear in there and a table as well.
Yeah.
Open wide, go inside.
I need one of those bottles
It's
back.
nuclear
For what?
missile.
For the bear? The missile
Oh
keys are
dear.
under the mat. That actually
Oh
makes
dear.
sense. It sounds like something I would write in my books too.
It was crazy. I don't think too much has changed in Siberia. Seriously, I'm pretty sure it's probably all still the same.
Well, yeah, it's nothing over there has changed. Nothing's over there.
I'm sorry, but when you're half a world away from where the capital is, it takes 2 bloody weeks for a plane to arrive, and that's
It'd
if
be
the
funny
weather's
if
good.
it'd be funny if like the Russia's map
You
just
can.
like stopped at Siberia. Nobody goes unless you're in trouble.
Shit. What was it? The Tunguska? That happened in Siberia. I mean, it took them 2 weeks before they figured out what the hell had gone on, by which stage everything had frozen up and covered all the evidence. So no one actually, still to this day, know what happens. They
Well,
can guess, but they don't
they go
know.
march up there, then they get lost. Yeah, everybody there. It's like the Bermuda Triangle, but snow.
Well, they tried sending people up there during the supposedly summer year, but didn't realise it actually got to like 130 degrees in the shade, and apparently there were more bugs up there than you could poke a stick at. So it's no real good time to go to Siberia. Seriously,
No.
it's just awful. It's like if you can think of the worst place to go in the world, apparently Siberia is number one on your list. So,
Yeah, and Chicago's
you
number
know,
2.
well, everyone just makes their own rules up there. So, you know, I mean, you could
Yeah.
be walking around your own property and be shot. So, you know,
Yep,
if
just like
somebody
Chicago.
thought you looked like a bear,
That's
and no
true.
one cares.
No, because there's
So,
nothing. Yeah. The frozen key under the mat.
mm. Oh dear, I sort of imagine that's probably what it's like in some places around in America in the swamplands. You know, just just don't go there.
Well,
It's
yeah, you
just
got to have
easier.
the door to keep the bear out. Or yeah.
Well, down in Florida, you got to have the door to keep the gator out. So
Well, and the
either
snakes that
way,
go right through your like dryer vents and shit.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm
Anyway,
rambling.
I know.
Yes, I'm going to
Appreciate you,
say
Nana.
goodbye.
Thank you. WishGen, thank you. JPass, thank you. Everybody
Yes.
else, anyone else, Seraph, thank you. Any last words? Any book? Are you gonna? Is your bunker book? You're gonna write your bunker book?
Oh,
No.
you're asking me.
Yeah, you gotta pitch
Oh,
your book or your video, your whatever it is. Subscribe to
of
okay,
course
I'll
you
do it
do.
for you. Subscribe to Griffin's channel.
Oh,
Or he also has a channel,
yeah,
so you gotta subscribe to see you know you're worse than me. You had a gator in your front.
yeah,
He's a D Griffin. I'll D Griffin one. I'll throw his link in the thing since he can't. D Griffin.
yeah.
There you go. He's almost to 100 subs, which is insane. You were just at you were struggling with like 50 a while back, and now you're there. You go.
That
Subscribe
was
to
a couple of weeks ago.
yeah, you're flying. Subscribe to Griffin. Tell him I told you to say hi.
Something like
There,
that. I don't know.
there you go.
Have you all
He does.
enjoyed it? Have you all had fun?
I think so. I got to see a lot of my old buddies and
Oh, that's good.
Sheets. You want to like so Sheets and Nana are just like Jim. They're all like people I've known for a really long time. They're all
7 or 8 years.
oh, and
Yeah.
same thing with Beer Juice. They're all originals from
Right.
yeah. So
Well, that's
thank you,
cool.
Nana.
They've all come back. That's awesome.
Yes, that's what tends to happen when I have a guest that is more interesting than I am.
Yeah, right. It's only because I talk with an Australian accent that people bloody jump on.
I don't know.
I don't know
Maybe.
that I'm more intelligent.
I think your
I
voice
think we just
sounds better
bounce.
than mine. I think they like your voice
Oh,
more
I
than
can't
me.
stand the sound of my voice.
Put a one in the chat if you like the sound of his voice more than my voice. It's okay.
Everyone's gone quiet.
Yeah, they're like, shit. What did he just say? Yeah, they're all exactly. Yeah, CDK too. I've known
Bloody
CDK for like
Australians.
6 or 7 years. Nana says 3.
3. 3.
Yeah, most of these people in this chat I've known for like at least 6 or 7 years.
Boo Boo sends his love, purring affirmations.
Oh, thank you, Surfing. Oh, thank you, Sheets. I'm glad you're alive. Wish
I like
also.
both. 3.
Oh, you can't stand either. Thank you, JPass.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool.
Oh, you can't stand your own voice. Okay. Fine.
No,
right.
I can't stand mine. Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You all
Hope
behave
you've
yourself.
all had fun. Buy Chance's book and game. Don't forget his game. He's got a good game, so you got to buy that as well. So.
Oh, thank you.
Anyway.
Bye-bye.
Have a great night. Hope you get some sleep, and I will catch you later.